Hey, welcome back to the Métropole Grid. My name is Andre. It's a Thursday night. Hopefully you're doing well. I got my wisdom teeth out and I'm totally fine. A huge win. I thought we'd be out for a week. Instead, I almost passed out in the waiting room after the procedure. Otherwise, I'm good. We got a big stream. Bless you. We got a big stream today. A special stream. We have Continental season. We're like just about in the middle of it, give or take. There's Continentals this weekend. Yeah, we'll be doing that. We're going to be streaming that on Project Nisei. So give them a follow, give them it's on Twitch, twitch.tv/Project Nisei. Go there, hit the follow button, and then they'll tell you when it goes live. It starts 1 p.m. Eastern, I believe, on Saturday. I should know that a bit more. Let's run some ads. Jeremy, how's it going? Let me catch up on chat. Also, really important at the top, about an hour and a half into the stream, an hour and a half in, we're going to be joined by Orbital, who's the OP manager, the organized play manager at Nisei, and we're going to get the first exclusive look at the prize support for Worlds. And I've seen it, and let me tell you, it's sick. It's really good. So once we get there, it'll be an hour and a half. We're going to do the Decklist of the week, the news. That'll be it. Hey, Alec, is anyone else getting a very choppy stream video or just me? It could be you. It could be the stream. Apparently I tried to stream to Twitch and it wouldn't connect for a minute. Let me just check what my health of the stream is because I've had some issues with Twitch today. The bitrate seems to be variable. Buckle up. Maybe try YouTube. I don't know. I can't help you on that. On YouTube, it's fine. Andrew, how's it going? Yo, Phil, was the real prize on Métropole Grid we watched along the way? It was, and it was kind of you too. Smacky, how's it going? Jason, hey, say hi from London before signing off. I'm attempted to attend Worlds, but the current standard meta seems really unfun. What are your thoughts between Pad Tab, Tap Warren, and Boat? It's kind of ridiculous right now. We're going to talk about that when we get to the news, because we just saw the APAC Continentals last weekend. If you haven't watched them, we will be talking about the results, so spoilers coming up. We'll warn you when that comes up. But two things, just like Sad says underneath you, the best part of Worlds isn't the meta. It is like... It's not. The best part of Worlds is going to a place with hundreds of other people who also care about Netrunner, to share that experience, to meet new people, to jam casual games, to go to side events, to do all that fun stuff. The Worlds event matters most for like the top 40 people in the world who really are like contenders. For everyone else, it's just a celebration of the game. We'll get back to that when we talk about prize support. But most importantly is if this meta from the Continentals turns out to be really unfun and really solved and like really overwhelming one thing over the other thing, there will definitely be, I can't talk on behalf of Nisei, but there usually has been a most wanted list, ban, restricted, change, whatever announcement between Continentals and Worlds. So if the end of Continentals, it turns out like, you know, everything is Boat, we'll see. Something will happen. And that's really exciting to see everyone try and like scramble to find the new meta. Hey, James, I'm really hoping there's some cards in Parhealing that'll address this. There definitely will be, but I do think balance changes, all that sort of stuff. Maybe people will figure out something new on the way as well. Hey, Mika, how's it going? Fine on YouTube. Hey, D Hunter. Okay, there are some great prizes. Yes, Sangren, have you seen all of it? It's like really quite good. Also, the Hacktivist switched from Twitch to YouTube. Twitch was rough. Okay, so it's not just me. Orbital's OP? Will they ban Orbital? I doubt it. Superiority. This is the Orbital tangent. A similar Orbital. Sup from Cincy. Yo, Zazdrav. How's it going? Zazdrav, yo. Welcome. Hey, Julian, how you doing? I certainly hope so. I should have plugged this in the Montreal Discord, but we're seeing Worlds prizes today, which is really cool. Also, Kevin, thanks for the game today. Played a lot of that today, let me tell you, in startup. Hard to find footage when you can't win a corp game. Okay. Speaking of can't win a corp game, here's the Decklist of the week. You can win a vacation cruise to hell from the Torsag circuit opener, which happened, I think, like a week ago. The results are up. I think Erin, she won it last I saw. There's a good amount of people. So just to go over what's going to happen today. Yeah, YouTube seems way smoother than Twitch today. I'm pretty sure something's wrong on my side with Twitch. So welcome over on YouTube where the VOD lives anyways. But yeah, it's a bummer because we have a good stream today for sure. How's it going, Macaroni? Okay, let me catch my breath. Hey, Kyle, how's it going? This is a deck list of the week that looking at it, I don't fully understand it. So we're going to try it out. We're going to play the deck list of the week. We're going to do a bit of news and then we're going to ping an Orbital and we'll go through the prize support stuff. That'll take us a while. After that, we'll either do some deck building, probably talk about Continentals because there's a lot to learn. And America's Continental starts in about 48 hours, give or take. On top of that note, if you're playing in the America's Continentals, the deadline for deck submission is in about 6 hours of me saying this right now. It's 11:59 p.m., but West Coast time, if I'm not mistaken. So if you are doing American Continentals and you haven't submitted your deck lists, you should probably do that. Registration will end August 25th at, again, 11:59. So get in there if you can. Again, if you don't know what Continentals is, there's some good prize support just for like attending. You don't have to win anything. I still think you get some nice stuff. It's $15 American to enter. It is on Jinteki.net. It's open to everyone. And most importantly, even if you're not in the Americas region, you can enter any continental. If this doesn't make sense, maybe Europe and Africa continental in, what is it, a week from now will make more sense. The only limit is you can only enter one continental. So make your choice. Hey, Scrub, slideshow stream. We're going to get to a slideshow stream. That's true. But anyways, this is this deck, and it's an op deck. It's a really strange deck. It has some cool interactions because it's playing 6 influence on special offer, which is really fun with op. But like at a distance, looking at this deck, it's one of those sort of decks that I can't understand what its win condition is. It has a slight bit of fast advance by having 2 audacities, which is really good for scoring your 3/2s, and a single calibration testing, which is also really cute. It's an op trigger upon itself. If you trash your border control, you can go find this at the end of a run on the end of a turn. That's kind of nice. But that's all it has. It has 2 copies of Urban Renewal, which on its own, I don't see how this will do anything. This is kind of really broadcast for a couple turns. I don't know how easily you can protect it for that many turns, and then how that converts to a win condition. I'm thinking abstractly, there's a chance that Urban Renewal comes off, and then the following turn you fast advance out an Aziev Protocol to do 2 meat damage to lethal end somebody. But from what I've seen so far from playing in the standard meta, not only do, I guess Anarchs don't really exist, but they do have Steel Skin Scarring, but the biggest deal is every Shaper on the block is running 3 copies of Stone Ship Chart Room, where I think a flatline lethal is near impossible. So I don't know how that's going to happen. Hey, Daryl, submitting deck snuck up on me. No idea what to play. Daryl, if you want to see, if you want to look, and again, there's no embarrassment to it. If you want to see the decks that were played at the last Continentals last weekend, there's some really good stuff you can pick. Otherwise, search Netrunner DB, search by Midnight Sun, find what you like. Just have fun. I bought the ticket already. Didn't realize I need to submit decks. Yeah. You need to submit them soon. You got to get a lock in. It's tonight. You have to do it. Now, the interesting thing about this deck is that there's some cool, abilities that you can fire. The Virtual Bread wrote a cool write-up where they go through everything and they go through all the different costs at the bottom, this sort of cost chart, which is sick for those that are, who want to know going into it. So some of the interesting inclusions really quickly, 11 agendas. That's generally a bit more than some of these Aziev decks. The big difference is, op decks. The big difference is we're not on Global Food Initiative, an agenda that's actually quite hard to score out. So we're playing more 2-point agendas, and we have 2 Oaktown renovations. This agenda is really hard to score out because it's a face-up agenda. It doesn't inherently work with anything in our deck, and I do not believe we can build a remote that protects this, specifically when they know what it is. So I'm worried to see how that will work. Otherwise, we have all the good 3/2 agendas, only 2 hostiles, and mostly 3/2 agendas. Assets, nothing too special. We have Rashida, which is fantastic. Mind you, this is a 0 cost, and we'll get back to the structure of what we can pull out with op. Mind you, if you don't know what op is, there's a lot of text here, but in short, the first time a turn a card is trashed, by us, through a card ability, not through installation, we can go find a card in our deck, install and res it for free, ignoring credit costs, as long as the cost of the card is exactly 1 less than the card that was trashed. So your 4 cost becomes a 3 cost, 2 cost becomes a 1 cost, and so forth. It's much better on YouTube. Oh yeah, Scrub, apparently Twitch is really bad right now, so just come over to YouTube if you can't. Maybe you can't even understand me, but yeah, the YouTube stream seems to be good. I've been having issues today connecting to Twitch. I don't know what's going on. Other things, we have Spin Doctor, which is a nice 0 cost to get clicklessly, that's for sure. We have a single Svidagor Excavator, which is a pretty powerful card. If they don't run this, and sometimes it's hard to protect this, we can trash one of our resed 4-costers to immediately go get a calibration testing, which is a 3-coster, and that's kind of cool. It allows us to fast advance. If they leave this on the table, sometimes we can destroy some of our ice that's, isn't really relevant anymore to get something better, and that's definitely cool. And then, of course, 2 Urban Renewal at 1 cost means that they have to run this or they'll take 4 meat damage, which in the modern meta, I don't think really does anything, largely because of Stone Ship Chart Room. Yo, Bushi, how's it going? Next, we have 2 Wake Up Call. This is a meta call. A lot of people are playing this largely because a lot of people are playing Endurance, the big old piece of hardware. And so if they trash one of your cards, of which we have 15 trashable cards, they can either suffer 4 meat damage, which can be hard on the turn the Urban Renewal has gone off. Maybe we can also fast advance out an Aziev at the same time, or they have to trash a hardware. It's just a hardware, right? Or non-virtual resource, which if the boat comes down to an angry person with a baseball bat, that's a win for you, I guess. This deck seems to struggle against control that. Kevin, I don't know what this deck can beat, I'll be honest. I don't fully understand it. I'm so used to, and mind you, I watched Yasengrin last night playing an op deck that generally runs 2 win condition packages that are running a bit of fast advance, a bit of rush, but on top of that are running a bit of kill. They have a boom, and they can usually play mutually assured destruction with some amount of gaining extra clicks. And this deck only has 1 win condition. And I don't think that this ice package is fast enough to get there, or the fast advance is resilient enough. I'm not sure. There's a chance we can jam out one agenda and fast advance out everything else before we get clot locked really hard, but I'm kind of doubtful about it. I'm just surprised that this op deck doesn't have an additional win condition as much as the boom win condition modernly because of Stone Chip Chart Room is kind of shit. At least it's another win condition that's good enough against the rest of the field. Up fires whenever, but only once per turn. Yes, it's not first time. It's once per turn, but your choice when. The upgrades are really weird. This is calibration testing, which is interesting because for the same influence, if I'm not mistaken, for the same cost, for the same slot, you could play Bass Chiriboga. And I actually think I like Bass Chiriboga a fair bit better. It's technically more expensive because Bass, well, we'll show you Bass. This in short, puts an advancement on a card in the server at instant speed, which means you can use this if it's pre-installed to fast advance a 3-2 agenda. You install a 3-2 agenda on it, advance, pop the calibration testing, and then you got a fast advance piece. You've also trashed a 3-coster, so you can go get a 2-cost from the deck. I'm not sure what the 2-costers are. We'll look into it, at least Regolith. The other option you have in this sort of list is Bass Chiriboga, which largely is the same thing. It's a 3-coster. It's 4 to trash, so it's a fair bit more to trash. It's the same amount of influence, but Bass specifically gives you an extra click as opposed to give you an advancement, which means it's actually more expensive, right? Because you have to actually advance the card on top of it. Now, I think these two cards are pretty interchangeable. I like Bass a fair bit better because the extra click I find to be quite a bit more valuable. I was watching Ysengrin last night, and what he would do is in some turns where you had to deal with a clot, is he would fire the Bass Chiriboga and tutor. He would basically fire the Bass to get an extra click so he can extract a 4-cost card, like trash a border control, to get him a virus, and then still score out in the same turn. Like, basically, all I'm saying, he had a biotic labor that I think made this more possible. It's just an extra click allows you to do more, where an extra advancement is a bit more niche. It's only good for advancing cards in a remote server where you could use the Bass on tempo to do a bit more. I think it's a bit wider of a win condition. The one big difference with calibration, though, is you can pop it on the runner's turn if you want to. You can just pay 3 credits as long as you can advance. There's a card in the root of this server to advance, and you can pop it at instant speed to get a 2-cost. I think that's interesting. Click is worth more than an advancement counter. Exactly, Kevin, that's exactly it. I think the click is more valuable than an advancement counter because it opens way more plays. You see really cool stuff, and maybe Bass makes also more sense with mutually assured destruction, that you can do like biotic, Bass, something else. The other thing is that it goes into remote, which is sort of something. Yeah, well, this one does too, but yeah, it's sort of something. It's something they have to trash for 4 credits, which is better than this calibration testing. So I don't love calibration testing. Admittedly, if there was a 2-coster that we could get at instant speed to do something cool, like a ping, and then they have a tag and woo, so be it. Decklist also on a single Mavirus, which again is a 3-coster you could trash at instant speed. This is an important card because if we're fast advancing, there's a single card in the game that stops fast advance, and it's called Clot. Clot, mind you, says that the runner can't score. The corporation can't score agendas the turn they're installed, and the only way to deal with Clot is to purge virus counters, and Mavirus is a really good way to do that at instant speed if it's pre-installed. Another good reason why sometimes Bass and Biotic Labor are a bit more flexible. Now, that being said, Mavirus is getting more value. We're seeing more things like Tapworm. Purging viruses is important, so not a bad card. Yo, Jonathan, how's it going? Some Corp, my favorite? Yeah, we're going to try this op deck. I haven't played like mid-range op. I've only been playing combo, like hard combo op, so I'm excited to see how this goes. Yo, Winnegon, the video is just straight up bugging on Twitch. No idea why. Come over to youtube.com/Metropole Grid. It's totally fine there. Apologies. No idea. Sorry, what I meant is that calibration testing can commingle with your assets, which Bass cannot. Oh, so like, yeah, but like, do you really want to put a calibration testing on top of a Regolith? I guess they have to guess whether it's the Mavirus or not. I'm not sure. Speaking of commingle, they have a Prisec. There's one Prisec in the list as a 0-cost, which is nice. There are some good 0-costs in this deck. Rashida, mind you, and Spin Doctor are kind of the best you can ask for. So I don't know what it's going to take for you to pull out your Prisec. But I think my biggest issue with the Prisec in this deck is that if you use Op's ability to trash a 1-coster to grab a Prisec, it has to be face up. So the opponent's going to have full information what this is and knows whether they need to play around it or not. And on its own, this deck cannot capitalize on a single tag in any meaningful way. So I think using your Prisec to protect your Urban Renewal doesn't really make much sense to me because I'm pretty sure they can just deal with it. The perks of dual streaming, yeah, tell me about it. Corp is my preference as well. I don't think I like playing as the runner. Kyle, I like Corp a lot better. Right now, that's been a struggle, especially playing Startup. We'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, I enjoy Corp way more than I do runner. Okay, Ice Sweet, real quick. We're on 3 border control, amazing in op. We're on 2 IP block. We're on a single envelopment, which I feel a bit sad about. I love envelopment. It's one of the best cards in op by a mile. The fact is, this comes in with 5 relevant subroutines, which means it can be boomeranged, it can be botulist, and it can be boated. And those are the three main things you have to play around when you're playing a rush deck, because they are everywhere. And this is so good. Once it does get trashed, it becomes a border control. The border control can become something else on another turn. So good. We're only playing one, which makes me upset. We have a single Afshar and a single Enigma. I like having 3-cost code gates so your border control can become a code gate. I think you might want to consider a 3-cost barrier just in case you need to go from a border control into a barrier if they're like boomeranging it or something, but not too big of a deal. And 3 Mouseless because it's taxing and good. There's almost nothing that breaks this well in the standard format besides boomerang, credit, pad tap, some nonsense like that. Special offer 3 times. This is what's cute about this deck. Special offer is interesting because you res it for 1, the corp gains 5 credits, so it's like a hedge fund that you're hoping the runner runs into, so you don't have full control over that. Also, while this is an ice that isn't code gate, barrier, or sentry, there's a lot of boat going out right now, so you could choose to break this if you really wanted to, but then this gets trashed. And when this gets trashed, you can pull a 0 cost from your deck, which is either Pryseck, Rashida, or Spin Doctor, which is definitely okay. That's not too bad at all. The issue I have about special offer, especially if you're trashing 2-costers to get this, is your ability only fires once a turn. So sometimes you're gonna have a special offer, and maybe that's why we're playing less, less envelopments, is that if this just fires to give you 4 credits for 2 influence on a run, sometimes that's not worth it. So you really need the op trigger to trigger with this, and I don't know how consistent that's gonna fire, but it's a cool interaction. It definitely is pretty neat. Hey, somehow since Sokka won, everyone seems on a quest to find a corp against Sokka winner. Hey, Diogene. Yeah, but I think Sokka is playing obviously some of the best decks in the format. I think that was proved last weekend, so there's a lot to prove to see if you can beat that. I think we're gonna see this weekend whether people just jump ship. I do think there are some decks that are better against that list that weren't as well represented. As much as there was a lot of sports metal, I think the sports metal matchup into lat might be fine. We'll see. I love this deck. I modified it a bit to give it more flexibility, but it skateboards tricks in the corp. And then I'll get to that Diceborn. How's it going? And lastly, we have Stavka, which is just a powerful card on its own. And this is the issue with the deck. From a distance, I don't fully understand it, but I think when we play it, we're going to realize the sort of like value we get. We're not running Extract. Wait, we're not running Extract. Why are we not running Extract? Oh no. Extract is the best op card by a mile. It's such a good econ card. It is 6 credits. And yeah, jump ship is definitely the joke. Wayne, how's it going? Extract is such a good op card. It's 6 credits, allows you to get your ability on your turn, on your choice, clicklessly pull a card from your deck. This is so good. I don't know why Extract is not on this list. It is the best op card. This card is like the best thing op can do by a mile. But what I was saying is that this list, I don't fully understand it from the distance. I don't know if it's going to be able to rush enough. I don't think it's going to go the long game. In the late game, it's just, ice. And that generally doesn't win Netrunner, so you need some amount of fast advance tricks. But I think you can tune this up. I would love to have another win condition package in this. Whether the boom is worth pursuing with all the Stone Ship chart room, we'll find out. But let's give it a play and try and remember all the triggers. The most important thing is op is super fun to play. So no matter what, this should be a treat. Oh, okay, I'm gonna slow down now. I was going pretty fast. How's everyone doing? It's just, there's always a lot to talk about. You could win a cruise when it comes to op. You could win a vacation cruise. Oh, super heavy logistics. All right. 49 cards, almost all our influence on the yellow cards, and then 1 single Mavirus. Let's go. Let's try and pay attention whether the Basture Boga or whether the calibration testing will be better for our use case. I'm pumped for this. Hey, Mika, we'll see. We'll see. I've been getting my just kicked around on JNet recently. And I think the issue is like I'm out there and trying to get startup gameplay for the series. Mind you, there is going to be no stream next week. I'll have a video up on Monday, but we're on vacation. Hey, so no stream next week. I was trying to get up 2 videos, but I just could not get compelling footage to get another 2 deck dives up in a week. We'll get one up on Monday for sure. All right, we're playing against Lat. All right, if this is the world's winning list, I think it's maybe we can rush out a bit underneath Lat at the beginning. This hand is definitely not it. Oh, cheers. But I think we're going to see a heck of a lot of this deck, this sort of Lat value deck. That is really insurmountable. I feel like as a corporation, if you're not winning by turn 10, you're generally behind the 8 ball, if that's what that expression means, because their drip economy is ridiculous. Their ability to deal with ice is absurd. Their amount of tech cards and pressure is kind of immense. So we're going to mulligan this hand for sure. Rip my op, which I think is better, but less well named. So no deck of the week. Was your write-up as good, Yusengren? Because they did a great write-up. All right, not a good opening hand. We have 3 special offers, and it's not something we can really rush behind, so I honestly do not know what to do with this hand. Mouseless Rashida. This on HQ might be one of the better things we can do. Best of luck, have fun. It also gets card out of hand, which is nice for lat. A lot of these lat decks, mind you, if you're not familiar with the Continentals list, you're going to be familiar by the end of the stream. But you never really want Mouseless on the remote. At least it's enough subroutines that it's annoying. And we'll put this on HQ. I keep having video block where I want to talk about play patterns, but like all I want to play is op, which is fairly useless. And I think runners are like 60 to 70% right now. That sounds about right. That's something that like I really want to talk about Sokka later today, is that Sokka, I don't know if he has like a pocket deck or a niche deck. Sokka just like understands what is over curve and has no reservations of putting 3 copies of all of that nonsense in a deck. Like this. I think 2 tap worm is maybe a bit greedy. We could consider purging here. I don't know if you want to put 2 down. I think you do 1 and then we purge, you put a second, and then we're like really, really far behind. All right, I think they can get 2 credits from the tap worms. I talked about every card in my write-up. Oh, I'm so sorry. Excuse me. All right, Atlas with the counter we could consider doing. Mouseless, we'd have to rush behind the border control, which is fine. I kind of want to get a credit here. Either that or we advance that, we'll be on 6. If we res the border control, if they face check, we might be on 3. I think Atlas with the counter seems incredibly strong. I'm just going to go as fast as we can because I don't think we're going to beat the like inevitability of this deck. Yeah, we push the Atlas for sure. Yeah, double tap, Solomir is so greedy. I 100% agree. I think this is a bit too greedy. Julian, I don't know if we purge. We have 1 My Virus, which we can tutor for if we like pop the border control, but like, I don't think we can lose a whole turn against this sort of setup. I do think though double tap worm is a bit too much. They did get 2 points up. Okay. You can tutor a virus anytime to deal with the tap worms. I wouldn't say it's anytime, Core, because we don't have extract. Right? Like we actually can't tutor them a virus in this deck unless they hit a border control during a run. It's pretty strange. Also, mind you, we need to have our stuff rezzed, and if they don't run, that's not going to happen. Score out. Atlas with the counter. IP block is not the best against Lat, who has Link. I'm going to throw that out. The list runs no AIs. Maybe they're hoping for the corp that decides to ignore the tap once they boost to 20 credits. Yeah. Right. This is our economy. Like you can enjoy the tap worms. Stavka at 4 cost? Stavka at 4 cost, we'd have to trash another rezzed 4 cost. So like still not in our control. Because Stavka doesn't trash itself. Wait, can Stavka trash itself? Does it say another ice? All right, we have a Spigator. I forget what the pronunciation guide on this one is. We could pull an Audacity here, not the best. I think we want at least 4 credits for the remote server because they have to deal with border control into a code gate. So we'll put this in server 1. I think what you can do remote credit. The problem with Spigator is it's not particularly good unless the ice that we're trashing or the cards we're trashing with this is rezzed. It doesn't have to be ice. If we click for a credit, if we do another credit, they gain 2, so that's probably not right. I think we can just do Spin Doctor and remote server. I'd like keeping the Spin Doctor on the table for after. Yeah, if they run this, I think we're fine with it. We'll do this. But the Spin Doctor is like really nice as a way to keep on the table so we don't lose Audacity really hard. If Lat's so strong just because you don't need to have draw cards in your deck frees up slots, yes. You still have a fair bit of draw cards, but like this format is so fast, modernly, technically, right? And so just getting free card draw is one of the best things you can do. There's so many ways in this game to make money. There's not that many ways to get card draw. Free card draw is good enough. And especially when like you draw 5 cards and the game is over. I don't know. All the decks I build. Oh, I thought that was a Spin Doctor. That's fine. We did not need to address that. That was a pretty unnecessary hyperbaric insult. Yes, it was incredibly unnecessary. It's actually risking a Stavka, which is not that bad when you have a simul chip, but a lot of times you want to rigging this up. All right, unfortunately, special offer will fail us now. When we res it, now this fires, so if they run the border control, we can't pop the border control. Like this is the issue with special offer, is it makes the rest of your deck worse. All the shaper IDs are bad and Lat's the least bad. I think Lat's ability is fine. I think card draw is good enough. All right, funny enough, though, we actually beat their ability because now Into the Depths didn't pass any ice. So I guess we're both laughing. We could put a price tag on HQ. That's kind of fun. I think Rashida into the new remote is probably a bit better. They don't pass the special offer as in terms of JNet, they don't pass a special offer because it trashed before they passed it. So they get no value for Into the Depths. What? Wait, what? That shouldn't... They didn't pass it? Huh? Wait. You passed that? I saw that last night, Sengrin. Didn't that not work? In the real world, they don't get that into the depths. Yeah, right? Because they didn't pass the ice, because the ice got trashed before they got past it, right? The subroutine's fire, then you pass the ice. The subroutine fired ended the passing. That's a JNet bug. I don't think they should have that paperclip. Yeah. I don't, that's just JNet. You actually didn't pass it because it trashed itself before you got to the pass step. Yeah. They have to undo that paperclip. Oh, no, no worries. That's a super niche interaction. All right, cool. Nice. Okay, we got away with that. Do we hit the Rashida here? I don't think so. Is it weird that I don't think we hit the Rashida here? Whatever. We'll probably do it. The issue is like we're going to have too many cards in hand. Yep, totally. Time to dig into the CR once again. Yeah, I'm not going to fire the Rashida here. Okay. So we are technically threatening game point. We can pull a hostile and we can pull an audacity. They have to lock the top of R&D here. But they did a lot of like, you know, I think slightly unoptimal stuff. Like the double tapworm didn't make sense. The hyperbaric didn't make sense. And we're a fast deck, so they need to keep up to us. Diesel to draw 3. They're going to get their lat. There's a rigging up. There's a nanotech. Again, there's only 2 staff cuts in the list. I don't think a lot of times you want to install your breakers until you need them. Preemptive installing is not great, especially because you can rigging up down your boat, and then you don't have to deal with any of this nonsense. So I don't love like preemptive installation unless there's certain ice you really lose to. And here, if they hit a Stavka, like it doesn't matter. They have a simul chip, right? Dirty Laundry, top of R&D. They're leaving the Rashida. Wild. Okay, let's get our cards and credits. If we draw a hostile here, I think we're golden. We have to see they cannot threaten us. What's it called? A clot. So we can fast advance out. Oh, hostile's perfect. And now we're on game point. Well, technically not, because we still have to draw into an agenda. I'm just going to throw out a bunch of cards here. All right, now we're on game point. What are we throwing out? I don't mind the urban renewal. After our border control are fine. Special offer is probably the worst. If a special offer trashes, though, we can get a Rashida. That's cute. Double tapworm doesn't make sense as the person not purging. It doesn't matter. Oh, now it's a bit good. But I'm not purging. We're going to win in a turn. We just top deck an audacity or the calibration testing. Mouseless is good. They have 3 pat taps though. Pat tap is not good against special offer. Special offer is like kind of cute. I'm hoping that the urban renewal will distract them, but with the stone chip chart room, like I don't see it. Whatever. Hey James, how's it going? Good runs. Thank you. How's your evening? They just got 4 credits. Double tapworm. Maybe we should purge. We got one of my virus. Hit a border control. We'll pull him a virus. It'll be sick. Afshar is nothing. Afshar is like, oh, you're right. Yeah, we're not going to ice HQ. Afshar was definitely worse than Mouseless by a mile. Oh, there's a boat. Okay. But yeah, I think you're totally right. The Afshar is pretty quite bad. I forgot that they had this. Boat's down, so now they can break a lot of ice. This is a strange corp. Joshua, it's pretty rushy. Like we're on game point. They need to threaten clot more than anything, honestly. Like they need to just put down a self-modifying code, which I don't know if the list has. I think it might have 2. Actually, no, the list has no self-modifying codes. It was just simul chip for clot, which is wild. Wait, they didn't trash a Rashida? Why didn't they trash a Rashida? Wait, they actually Rashida and didn't trash it, right? Wild. Okay. I'm fine with this. They've seen Wake Up Call? I guess so, but you can take 4 meat damage, right? No SMC, ITD, yeah, was the only tutor. That sounds about right. Did they see the Wake Up Call? I don't remember that. They got 4 more credits. A lot of times you don't want to install like your resources at the top of the turn. It just makes it harder for you to do anything else in the turn. Like usually that's the last thing you do. If they're just setting up, it doesn't really matter. Well, Rashida. Simulchip doesn't get clot, so we can top deck either a 3-2 point agenda, a 3-2 agenda, or an audacity will win because we'll pull the other part with our Atlas counter. And that's game. Server 1. There's nothing they can do, right? No. Advance. Pull this. Search. Audacity. Audacity. Trash. Ob fired once. No, thanks. All right. Still no purge? I don't think you need to. I think we can go fast enough. Good game. They hit them a virus, yeah. They were getting some amount of credits, but I feel like it's time more than credits that matters. Because at this point, when they have like the boat up, it's not so much the money they have, right? Like they went out of their way and they installed a lot of stuff they didn't need to, and they still were like relatively what's it called, liquid. But again, it's at this point like we can't keep up the boat counters. The economy's not going to matter that much. I don't know. This is why the deck is pretty punted against sports, I think. Oh, what do you mean, Sengren? Hit the Claw out of hand? Wait, actually we did? Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, if they like overdrew and got the Claw into the bin, then Simulchip is interesting. And at that point, we have to get the virus down. Which is a reason why, like, I would argue that the what's his name? The Bass Chiriboga can be better than this calibration testing. Because then we could put Bass, if it survives, we do Bass, install the virus Audacity out, right? Like, it gives you so much more flexibility than this 3-2. I don't know. I like Bass. I do like Bass. All right, let's do another one. If they don't run your ice, you also don't get the op trigger, mind you. I don't think we have time to sit back and unload a Regolith. Sanjay had a hilarious suggestion to pull congratulations out of your deck when you score Aziaf as your final agenda just for fun. Oh man, that's actually really fun. How's it going, Sargnar? The no ability to get clawed in these scenarios means sports should be at least decent. Yeah, I see what you mean. I think you have Stargate. Endurance is good. Obviously, you don't need other breakers, which is nice. You can face check pretty aggressively. But the fact that you can't instant claw, I don't know. I feel like you can tech the deck though, right? Like I'm so excited to see this weekend whether people like start putting imp in, because Into the Depths imp is really quite good. You probably need more Simulchips to like get that happening. Maybe you run 1 or 2 SMCs just to get it. But I do think you can just aggressively Into the Depths for self-modifying code. Then they have to purge, and then it's all about Simulchips. I hear you. It's harder. It's definitely harder than just SMC, but the deck looks much more aggressive. My local group's Midnight Sun cards finally arrived. Can't wait to get stuck in. Hell yeah, Connor. I haven't even got my cards yet. I meant to pick them up this weekend, but unfortunately I can't go to the, there's events, mind you, on Saturday at the Silver Goblin. Our friend David is running it, but unfortunately I'm going to be, well, in some ways, unfortunately, some ways, fortunately, I'm going to be running the stream for the America's Continentals. So I won't be there. Huge shout out to the whole Montreal crew who's going out. Diogen, are you going on Saturday? Julianne, are you going on Saturday? Or is anyone playing Continentals? I don't know. That's unfortunate timing, but it was organized before Continentals was announced. So hopefully somebody gets their circuit opener. You are sick. Do you have your decks yet? I don't know how you've been enjoying your Midnight Sun. I haven't seen a lot of your deck posts. I think I saw like a sports medal. I don't think I saw much else come in from your name. Okay. I gotta slow down. I don't know. I'm feel too energized. I'm gonna take it easy now. I'm just taking it nice and slow. Apologies if I'm too harsh on this deck, mind you. It looks like really fun. I feel like if you want to like, you know, tune it to be something more competitive, you can. There's nothing wrong with it not being that. I do think some of the interactions are really fun, but I hope yeah, I don't know. I don't want to come off mean. I'm doing Saturday. I'd rather play in Meat Space. Yo, I hear you. Playing in Meat Space is something special. We don't have regular meetups in Montreal. It's like really coveted. Finding a corp is tough thanks to Sokka. Yeah, I do think you're going to see lots of that, Diogen. But that being said, I don't think the Montreal crew is like specifically very sweaty. Maybe some people will worlds prep, maybe. But I don't know if I think there's more players in Montreal who want to play what they like as opposed to people who want to win everything. Is Roberto going? That's the big question. He's like really good at net decking the good stuff. I think if John is there, he'll probably play Good Shaper because he always wants to play Good Shaper. I'm considering Continentals, but I have to work. James, Beans, can you make the other one? There's one more coming up for Europe, Africa, but you don't have to be in those regions to join. Finally received the in-person pub runner meetup on Tuesday. Got some new folks and all to join. Oh, how many people you got? Also, how did you organize pub runner? Like, how does it work? I'm always interested to hear this, whether you contact the pub or there's an agreement or there's just space. Hey, thanks. You too. I don't think you've been super mean. Okay. Thank you. Need those 45 card corp decks? Oh yeah. The Daijin special, of course. All right. We're against Nat. 46 cards. Mind you, Nat could have played 40, but we have a couple more cards. I don't know what a Nat deck generally does. We're going to see things like Guinea Pig. I think Steel Skin Scarring is a fair bit better. Our opening hand is like kind of meh. I would love something that we actually can rush on the table. So I'm going to mulligan this, but it could get worse. Oh man, Lat actually struggles against Urban Renewal. That's good fun. Is there a region that's saturated with really competitive players? That's a good question. I don't know. I know the west coast of Canada has some of the best Netrunner players in the world. Like Whiteblade and Soccer are going to be all within a postal code, so that's kind of wild. Opening hand, not amazing. Jamming behind a Stavka is a bit sus. I think we could get these two on the table, so what are we doing for our next click? I'm worried we're going to get Chestushka comboed. We'll draw once. Oh, fantastic. So good. Cool. No more Gravedigger? Yeah, Gravedigger was in Order and Chaos, so it's gone. Central Pressure, running R&D. Leech counter. Okay. I contacted a local Calgary club I knew had good lighting and tables. I posted a few boards and FB groups, got 5 people to make it, but a few wanted to make it next time. Oh, that's really good. There always will be a next time. Paladin, Leech, Fermenter, good setup. If we res the Urban Renewal, we can't score out. I think that's fine. I think we need Ice Up Centrals. Aziev kill this game? Maybe Aziev could be super lethal. But this is not a good start. Is everyone doing okay? Is everyone holding on? Vancouver's going to be stacked. New England also stacked with lots of tryhards. Boston has 100% standard. Admittedly, that is to some extent like knowing whether your meta is more startup or standard. And again, we're 1 credit short of winning. No, we can. If they don't draw, we win, right? Wait, we definitely win. This is 3, 4, 5. We just. Good game. Oh wait, no, they could always stone ship. They could win with. They could draw with stone ship. Perfect audacity in hand. No, because we lose the stone ship. Like we can always trash this Urban Renewal, but if we stone ship the Aziev, it's not that good. Unfortunately, when we trash this, the 0 cost is not installed at the beginning of turn. Here though, we can get a Spin Doctor to like fix our woes. New remote. Okay. Svigator. Oh, I did that at the wrong time. Whatever. All right. So there's a chance they die here. This hand hit makes you wish you had Moonpool. Yo, flooding up has never been so cool. We're gonna ask action. If they don't do anything here, they die. What? Okay. All right. Well, they could have drawn. We do all that in one. GG. So because we didn't spend a click, we can do all our paid ability windows before giving them back priority. Thanks for the game. I thought they would draw there. I thought you'd stone ship out. Okay, cool. All right. Would you like to not lose? Well, they don't know what it is, right? A lot of times it seems like, oh, do you want to stop us from scoring a hostile, right? Like, it's weird to see a card installed on another card. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Aziev can get it. And some people just died as Aziev, right? Like, sometimes you forget. It's something that's going to take a while for players to remember. 1 card in hand, dangerous. And I feel like Nat has to keep that one on his radar. Want to run it back? I think you actually win if they don't chart after install. No, because the advancements is synchron. They have clicks. They can spend paid abilities between each click, right? Because we can't do advance. They have a trigger on between every single click. So we can't take a click without giving them priority. So yeah, totally. One host. All right, we're running back. They had an interesting deck. I want to see what it does. Because you can Audacity and Calibration. Oh my God, I see what you mean. Yeah. If we install, they do nothing. We could have just done Audacity Res. Oh yeah, I didn't consider the Audacity. You're right. With the Audacity, 100% we could have make the room. Yeah. Huge call. Excuse me. Yeah, if we installed Audacity, then we could res and score in the same paid ability window. Yeah, you're totally right. I can combine? You ask me to combine fast advances? You'll be lucky if I do 1 fast advance correct. Do you want me to do 2 fast advances? Please. The last window for chart room was before the last advancement? No. Wait, did we ask too late? Yeah, it would be as soon as we do the last advancement, then we can go. So it was install advance, wait for window. Did I ask for the window after the second advancement? Because as soon as we advance, then we do all our paid ability windows before relinquishing priority. So then we can do advance res score and then be like, do you want to do anything? So yeah, I think we might have done it wrong. I don't know. It was all a haze. But Audacity was the right play. You too. We believe in you. Thank you, Alec. Opening hand looks similar to the last hand, which was a game-winning hand, but I think we can do better. Yeah, that's good. Rashida and Ice. Fine. They seem to be aggressive. I wonder if they're on Imp, but they have Fermenter Leech, so they do want to get those like value runs. You asked after? Oh, okay. That's embarrassing. Don't do as I do. Do as I say. Thank you. New remote. Get this there. I think we are going to put the special offer on HQ. Whatever. There's a fermenter. There's a flip switch. Cool. Tags don't really matter. Ice Carver, you don't see that a lot. Definitely on the fixie breakers, the bin breakers. These help a heck of a lot. And now they're running into a Mouseless. They don't have enough money to trash the Rashida, so running a 0 credits is a bit dodgy. Now they can clear the tag. They can also just jack out here. So maybe they're making us suspend credits, but we're totally fine with it. We have a Rashida. Also, Null is still legal and Omar is now very good. We saw some weird anarchs. Like we saw, what's her name? Apocalypse Alice at Continentals do pretty good. I don't know. I never liked Omar just because of the influence limit. It seems fine. I think Null is like probably not good. I don't think it's better than just like, that's the issue is like, do you want to get free card draw from Hoshiko? That seems better than interacting with Ice. I don't know. Okay. Sorry, JNet. We did that wrong. You're right. My bad. Are we going to jam behind a single Mouseless? We could consider it. We could also just get our money up. We could do like Prisec, install Regolith, hit Regolith once. Not very sexy, not very fast. This is where Oaktowns are like really ugly because you can't really score them out behind a Mouseless. So it's either we Prisec. I think we will Prisec in their remote server. The question is whether we res this. If we res this, they give information. It's the same as clicking for credit because we res for 2, gain 3 off of it. I think there might be a fallacy in that because we empty it a bit slower, but that's the idea. And emptying this is actually more relevant than in any other corp ability. On the mod probably has a good Omar deck. Null is blank because you run the best breaker boat. You're not too far off. All right, they did credit. We haven't been noticing if they've been getting their nat ability. Mind you, it is 1 credit if you have 2 or fewer. Oh, okay. And there's a Stavka. We could hit the fermenter for like really, really rude. I feel like we just need an ice here that ends the run. I don't want to triple advance the Mouseless. I'm just going to take the money. Yeah, whatever. We'll Stavka R&D. Not amazing. Oaktown, but no HHN threat? Yeah, that's the problem, I think, with this deck. It only has 1 win condition, which is scoring agendas. And I'm not a strong believer in scoring agendas. Imagine tossing Steel Skin to Null. I heard about it. I kind of want to see it. I feel like there's so many cool ways to make Steel Skin feel really good. But I just don't think, I don't know. I don't think the payoff for your ability should be that. Like, what do we do now? If we hit Regolith, we can get, they're playing with more cards in hand, mind you. Maybe they're a bit scared of the Azyef. If we hit the Regolith, we can get a 1-coster from our deck. I don't know what those are. Let's find out. Urban Renewal, kind of interesting, but it clogs our remote server for like way too long. Like way too long. And then if we put a special offer on R&D, they run it, then run a border control or a battlement, like disgusting. Like we don't want to do that. I'm just going to put this out naked, honestly. If they run that, so be it. Steelskin plus Faust? Does Faust say discard or trash? Because I might think it might say discard. I'm not actually sure the wording on Faust. It's been a minute. The Azyef Flatline win con is real. It takes a certain setup. I think with Neurospike, you could actually get somewhere. Here's a Cradle. It's going to be hard for them to get to 5 strength. If they can get this to 5 strength, the price tag is going to be an issue. Let's just say that. Okay. We don't have an Atlas, so... And we hopefully this fires and then maybe we like Audacity out the Oaktown. We'll find out. Is there an agenda that when it's scored, you can install and res a card ignoring all costs? Yeah, there is. It's a, what's it called? License acquisition, and NBN has one. It's a 3-1. I think that's the only one. Send the message only lets you res. And I wish send the message was any card. I don't know why it has to be only ice. They have a lot of money. Oh, they just die again. Why? They just die. Okay. Okay, I guess. Okay. No. Can't have 1 card in hand. You can't play Nat into this. GG. Yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard to play Nat into this. I don't know how often Nat fired. There's some like really interesting cards in here. They don't see a lot of play. Injection Attack is kind of underwhelming for a single card. Maybe this gets a bit better with some of the like play events cheaper on a comp package, but a lot of times this is like super comparable to Overclock. Admittedly though, when you have Cradle, that's a fixie breaker. It does get a bit better. Hey, you too. Can't show mercy in these situations? Oh, it's Netrunner. You got to win before turn 10 as a corp. You don't look at a win and say, no, thank you. I want to see turn 15. You can't do that. Architect Deployment Test lets you pull from the top 5 and install res. I feel like there's another one that's sort of like that. Like find one ice in your deck and res it. Maybe that one's rotated. I don't know. What time is it? It's 9:33. Okay. We're going to do some news. I just want to do a little roll call here. Orbital, are you around? Sleeper Cell activate. I'm not saying just yet. I'm just saying soon. I think I recall seeing a Nat deck with Safety First. I think Safety First is cute. I think Safety First is like, kind of shows you why Lat is so good, right? I think Sokka was talking about that, right? Like a free card draw a turn. Why not? Hey, Armando, how's it going? Welcome. Okay. We're going to do some quick news. Firstly, again, we plugged this once. American Continental Championship will be this weekend. If you want to attend, it's $15 American. You get participation prizes. You get to play some rounds of Netrunner. If you do good enough, you get come back the next day. You keep playing. You get an invite to Intercontinentals. You win Continentals. You get your likeness on a card. Huge success. Remote enforcement from Qatar. Thank you. That's the one. But that's this weekend. Couple things. This will be streamed. We are streaming it. It's going to be a Metropole Grid stream, but not on this channel. It's going to be streamed on Project Nisei on Twitch. So go to twitch.tv/Project Nisei and go ahead and go hit a follow button, hit that bell or whatever, and you will get a push notification when they go live. We should be going live around 1 o'clock Eastern on Saturday, and then about the same time, I think, on Sunday for the top cut. Don't quote me on it. I haven't looked at the time and the date, but it's definitely sometime in Sunday afternoon. A Daily Quest champ card is great. It's really good. Yeah, it's really good. I was trying to remember which agenda lets you corporate town without forfeiting an agenda. Yeah, Kyle, I think it's the license acquisition, just the 3-1. Also, man, watching some of Sokka's APAC games and the way he can plan out how to get a lat draw every single turn is awesome. That is the next plug. If you don't want to know about APAC Continentals, if you want to not get spoiled, maybe pop out for a minute. We're just going to talk about it really quickly. We're going to be talking a bit about it later, but there's some really cool things associated with this. Okay. Has everyone left the room yet? 15 USD, that's like, it's about, I think it's like 350 Australian. Remote enforcement gets you nice from your deck. Architect gets you anything ignoring the top 5. Yes, that's the difference, right? Those Sokka videos were good. What do you think of Drago, the NBN card? Okay, hold on. There's a lot of things to talk about. Let's start here at Sokka. So Sokka is Will. He won, mind you, right before shipping out to the West Coast. He won the APAC Continentals. The finals was actually the same 2 decks on both sides. It was a deck that Sokka built, and who built the other deck? The NBN deck is somebody else. Shit. I knew the name. We'll find it. It's here. We've seen the lot deck. We're going to see it all day. Oh, not Ice Prisma, because Ice Prisma played it. It is Bridgman. Bridgman built the NBN deck. Kat, how's Netrunner going? It's going good. It's going good. We're going to show something you're working on later today, huh? Bridgman, thank you, Macaroni. I'm really excited to show it off. Okay, so these are the 2 lists I won, and Ice Prisma is a player from, I feel bad about this, I think Finland? Somewhere in Scandinavia? And they have the same decks as Sokka because Sokka lent them decks. So the finals was basically a Lat versus a Reality Plus versus Lat, which is really exciting. Now, one thing to definitely talk about is that Sokka has all his stuff. .com/Sokka234, all this stuff. I don't know if he has the vanity, actually. I hope he does. Yeah, he does. No, he doesn't. All right. We've gone the wrong place. This is at Sokka234. Sokka records every single game he played at this event from his side. So if you want to watch through it, it's all fascinating. Of course, you're going to see the same decks over and over again. What did you expect? But he starts with like a deck reveal and he talks about the decks and then every single game. Check this stuff out. It's fascinating. Again, I feel really bad that we haven't plugged Sokka enough on this channel. He's been streaming consistently on Friday nights. At this point, I think he might be done streaming because he's about to move to the West Coast to start grad school. And so he doesn't maybe have the time that he used to. But go check this stuff out. It's pretty good. And so you'll see the deck and you'll see him play it and talk about everything. It's a really fun watch, especially if you want to figure out how to pilot these decks. Maybe you're boning up for either how to play in the American Continentals or how to play against these decks in the American Continentals. How does he know all the matchups so well? Aren't there some card variations even if the ID is the same? Specifically in the top cut scrub, open deck lists. So once you get to the top cut, he knows every single card in his opponent's decks because top decks are open. But in Swiss, you can generally just any matchup you play, you can boil it down to certain cards, right? Like you're playing against Precision Design, you have generally an idea of what the ice suite is and what the upgrades are, what the like how much fast advance options, what the agenda suite is. That's something that comes with a lot of experience and a lot of jamming of games and a lot of like just paying attention to Netrunner DB stuff like that. That being said, I don't think a lot of people pay too much attention to understanding that people have that information and then kind of play with it. Like thinking, okay, I'm going to use the fact that people think face checking into this is okay, and then end up putting like Stavkas in an NBN deck, right? Like that sort of stuff actually can work well, but a lot of people have just a good idea what's playing. But if you're watching the top cut, it's because he knows every single card in the deck lists, and that changes the game considerably. Sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. It depends on your deck. Some of the testing, some of it just having a good read on all the different cards in the game and what are relevant threats at any point. Exactly. Yeah, totally. Okay. If we want to talk about the decks real quick, they are interesting and they're very noteworthy. I think we're going to talk about them a bit more after. The biggest thing right now is this deck. And fun story, Sokka messaged me during the break on Saturday night. He saw that I was watching the stream because I was commenting a bit in chat, and he said, yo, are you trying to ban Drago? Because Drago was the one card I picked for the ban category in the tier list we did with the Sanguinesti. You could find it on this channel. Because I think Drago is an absurdly powerful card. The idea with this deck is it is a prison deck. The idea is Drago is an asset that can be advanced. It's an executive that can be advanced. You spend 2 counters off of this to give a tag, and then it's something the runner still has to deal with. It is truly uninteractive tagging. If the runner doesn't run, they're going to get a tag. And this is slow and expensive, but it's balanced out by Reality Plus, which when you get the first tag a turn and Drago only gives 1, you get the credits back. So you end up spending time, but you don't end up spending credits. And that's the idea, is this deck is 3 archive memories. Anytime you see 3 archive memories in a list, you know something has gone wrong. This is like the cornerstone of a prison deck. The last time you saw 3 archive memories were like back in the day with, what's it called? Potential Unleashed Jinteki prison decks that were basically just archive memories over and over again for net damage just until you ran out of cards. You did see this sort of in prison remote games where they had friends in high places, which was archive memories kind of juiced up even higher, but this is a sort of issue. And the real big thing is in this deck is that a single tag or multiple tags really kind of just push you out of the game. The biggest 2 contributors are the 2 big tag punishment cards in the game. One of them is Market Forces. In the finals, you saw someone get Market Forced 7 times. And Market Forces isn't closed accounts. There used to be a tag punishment operation for 0 cost that said the runner loses all credits. And this is not as strong at first, but once they get more tags, it becomes similar, but also the corp gets credits. So this is the biggest deal. And if you ask me about ban Drago, I think there's a bigger chance that ban Market Forces might be correct. I tried this sort of archetype a fair bit in Startup, and it's way different in Startup where the number of tag punishment cards in the format are like 3, and one of them is 3 influence, not particularly good. This card though does make tags into, it just pushes you out of the game. It just continually pushes you out of the game while you archive memories for this over and over again. And with no credits, you can't do anything. You can also return cards to hand with self-growth program, really important in the modern meta where people are paying 8 credits for the console. And if they don't have cards and they don't have cards installed, mind you, they can't steal any of the agendas. And mind you, with 6 agendas, barring a mad dash, they have to steal half the agendas in this deck. And that's so difficult. That's the issue with Drago. Whether people are going to ban Drago, whether people are going to beat this deck, and I don't think this deck lost a game. The biggest issue I have with this deck, and Sokka brought it up too, is that it makes any deck that's resource-based on economy unplayable largely. If you do Drago on the remote server, advance, trash the daily cast, like now they're so far behind, they still have to deal with Drago, right? Like that's kind of an issue. And then every turn you leave this, it's another tag into a harder and harder Market Forces, and you're kind of out of the game. In the final, we saw this against the NBN deck, and the LAT deck does eat this. That is one of the benefits, is the LAT deck that is so commonly played does do very well against this deck. And largely because its economy is offshore to operations and to Rezekis. And Rezeki can actually just clear the tag every turn, and you're not going to get snowballed down into Market Forces land. But if your resource economy is like slow daily cast and Paladin Puemo and friends, good luck, right? Like it's so hard. I don't know what y'all thought about this, but hashtag ban Drago is like honestly something that's worth considering. I do think without Market Forces, this archetype becomes a fair bit worse. Maybe I've just been struggling in Startup, but oh my God, in Startup, it's Retribution, and that only gets criminals. We watched Lat absolutely take this deck apart in the finals. Yes, not even close. Absolutely take it apart by like very consistent, strong, and unexciting play, unfortunately. But a lot of times that's how you beat prison decks, is you say, okay, I can play your game. You're in the prison with me. Not me, you, something, the Watchman. Okay. I don't think you ban anything out of this list. You might not have to, but like, there's a difference between the deck being like the top tier tournament deck, which it might not be this weekend, or whether it's fun to play against this. And both of them are issues. Not like we had unfun bad decks before, like Wake Up Call, Door to Door, whatever that thing was. That's so weird. You can't bring Surprise Tech to counter something you think might be played a lot. You can in Swiss, but in the top cut, deck lists are open. I'm not sure why, but it does make interesting games. It also allows the viewers to know the deck list so they can appreciate the game a bit more. As a viewer, open deck lists are actually like kind of nice. I played Ice Prisma, who had this deck. It was really tough and a bit demoralizing to play against. Could not keep Drago out the remote. It's really hard to keep Drago out the remote because it just keeps coming back. Archive Memories, Drago, Install, Go. It's really hard. Potential Unleashed, you were too beautiful for this world. Just throwing this out there, if someone wants to make a community in this Bay Area, Armando, hit up green level clearance. There should be like regional zones. See if you can find people in that area. There's definitely people playing in the Bay Area. I don't know. I'm assuming that's the West Coast, not like Green Bay, which I think is Wisconsin. Did someone say big deal? I say big deal a lot. We literally, excuse me, NBN in general has been doing very well. It's either Drago or Bologna. I think Bologna might be a bit like, I don't know. I don't think we've actually seen that much NBN do well besides specifically Drago based decks or like Asmari Jinjo won a thing in Toronto recently, like that sort of stuff. Sokka was saying Krim should have a reasonable matchup as well. That's interesting. You say have to ban Rizeki before Drago or both together? Yeah, I'm really interested to see what the ban list looks like. The unknown of this deck is what made it rough. Yeah, and I think that's a big deal. It's like people didn't know how to play against this. They didn't know what they were up for. And if you have a deck that is built to beat this, you will beat it consistently, I think. But is that deck also good enough to deal with the rest of the meta, right? Like the precision design speed, the sports metal fast advance, whatever exists in the meta moderately, I don't know. Pad Tap is much more noxious than Rizeki IMO. I don't know. You can deal with Pad Tap. Can't deal with Rizeki. We have a hugely runner favored meta, and a player familiar with this list absolutely took it apart in the finals. Why would they ban anything? I don't know. I don't know. I do think, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know whether Drago's going to get banned. It's really, really strong. Something to watch him is the flavor text Laundry's champ card. It was quite instructive to see Sokka's side of the stream. He was in control throughout. He was, and he knew the matchup was very, very winnable. Obviously, he knows his list he's playing against, so he knows how to take it apart. So that'll be good. It's not an amazing deck that did well because it's an archetype people haven't practiced against. That's not an argument to ban anything. If you have a runner deck that doesn't just sit back and do nothing, it beats this deck. I agree. I don't think this is the most powerful deck. I do think it prisoned its way to the top and people didn't know how to deal with it. I'm very excited for this weekend. Very, very exciting. Hold on. I have to destroy this robot. Okay. I blocked them from one part, but I don't think I blocked them from the other part. Why does this keep happening, YouTube? Report. Explicitly sexual material. Okay, you're gone. This is unreasonably runner favored meta. Currently, it looks like that. And that's what I've been struggling with. And mind you, oh man, okay, I've said this. Next week, there will be no stream. We'll have a video up on Monday, but nothing on Thursday. We'll see you back in September. But I've been struggling because I've been putting out runner startup decks and then I wanted to play a runner corp deck in startup and I can't do it. Like I honestly can't find a corp deck that will consistently win. And so many of the decks I'm playing in startup are either Sable or Lat. And it feels like to me, if you can't win by turn 9, turn 10, you have no chance. So every single time I build a deck, I realize this is too cute. I should just play Seamless Launch and then jam ice behind agendas. I don't know if your experience is different in startup. I think I'm going to try and do more standard because it allows you to explore more. You have more win conditions. And not like that's not going to be the same issue to some extent in standard, but it's hard right now. Runners are winning. Open list up to the cut is to remove scouting advantage and balances requirements. Oh, thought that's exactly it. Yeah, there's huge imbalances classically where people would show up to tournaments and they had friends and in like test groups. So they'd be like, oh, I played against this person. Let me tell you about this deck. And now with an open top cut, people can see the deck list so they don't lose that disadvantage. You can come in as like a lone gunslinger and still do well. I'm getting tons of stuttering on Twitch, but YouTube is clean. Yeah, Solomir. Oh yeah, Orbital. There's some issues with Twitch. I guess YouTube is solid. Hey, how's it going? You want to jump on? We can start this. I need my headset. Hold on. Actually, I do need to change a bunch of stuff. So, you know, Kat, it's not just you. It's not just you. It's YouTube is good. Okay, give me 1 second because I'm going to boot up. And so we are going to have Orbital join. Just give me about like 40 seconds to get the stream call. And we're about to look at the world's prize support, which is awesome. We'll get back to talking about decklists and stuff. But just give me like 1 second to, let's do this to get Orbital in here. Okay, cool. Have you joined the thing? Corp and startup is so rough, Kevin. Yeah, you and me played, and we're like kind of coming to the same conclusion. It's quite difficult out there. We also not used a strong runner. The game was heavily favored for Corps for the past 2-3 years. Diogen, I don't think that's correct at all. I think the game has been like heavily runner favored for a while. Like the last meta was runner favored. Like that was the idea. Like listen to June talk about Midnight Sun. They're basically saying that the Corps kind of don't do anything. They depend on runners making mistakes. I don't think that's true. Okay. Have you joined? Hey, Gabriel. Sorry, 1 second. I'm going to read your comment. I just need it. Oh, I think we have him. Okay. Okay, give me 1 second. I need to set all this up, but then I have to change my audio setup. I did not consider this at the beginning of the stream. My headphones are turned on. It's a good start. Okay. Oh, geez. I don't know if you all heard all of that, all the sounds. Okay. So I'm going to let me do a call. Hey, can you hear me?
Hello.
I can hear you too. Okay, I see you as well. Currently, nobody else can hear you. Let me just hit one button and we can see if everyone can hear you. Wait, actually, could you say hi, Orbital?
Hi, Orbital.
Oh, perfect. Everyone can hear. Okay, everyone can hear. Okay, we'll just get your video in. I'm going to copy this link and I just have to edit something. Give me 1 second. How are you doing, by the way? Do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Just living life. I'm Orbital Tangent, aka Josh. I am a co-host of the Slums Cast and Nisei's current organized play manager. I'm gonna bring you through some prize support here. Andre has graciously allowed us to use his platform here to work up some hype and give everybody a little bit of treat, and we'll see how that goes.
Okay, Orbital, we have your face on stream. Say hi. Everyone can see you. I like your background. That's the Yakuza special, right?
Yep.
Okay, just hold on. I want to share my screen with you so you can see what I have on screen, because obviously that's going to be a bit important. So let me just select what window I want to share. We will just share OBS. Hopefully that works well. Okay, no audio source was detected. Can you see on the website I shared the link to you?
Oh, that's the one I should be watching.
Yeah, there will be like a room in there, I'm pretty sure, if I did it correctly.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, perfect. Welcome. Hey, you can now see me too. How's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty good. So in short, Worlds is coming up. What can you tell everyone who's watching a bit about Worlds? It's in what, about a month now and a bit?
Yeah, so it's a month and a bit. So it's gonna be October 7th, 8th, and 9th in Toronto, Canada. The World Championship is like the pinnacle tournament of the OP season. But it's not just that, as you have said to many of your viewers over and over and over again. Celebration of the game. There's only going to be a couple of people that are going to win. Statistically, there's only going to be one person, per event that's going to win. So, you don't have a very good chance. But that's not the reason that most people come. It's really a celebration, and it's about getting neat stuff, hanging out with people, having drinks. We're gonna have a merch booth there. We're gonna
Ooh.
allow community artists to sell their stuff.
We'll get back to
So it's
that
gonna
in a
be
bit.
more of a con atmosphere than anything is the point.
Yes. And I don't know, maybe I'm going to miss something here, but it feels like this is the first time in many years where literally hundreds of Netrunner players have come together to like celebrate the game and see each other, which is fantastic. Connor says there's a bit of an echo on Orbital side. How bad is it? Because I can't do much about it. Hold on. Try again. Orbital? Maybe it's better.
Okay. Test.
I feel like that might have been it, actually.
Try it.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Is all merch sold in CAD? I believe so. We'll get back to that, I think, when we were talking about like artists, because I think it's kind of up to them. But we'll find out. Sorry, I was kidding. I honestly don't know if you're kidding, but let me know if the sound is not good, because we have to sort that out live. Okay. Orbital, we have a lot of price support to show. You've sent me the images. I have the images here, but I don't know what is associated to what. Like how do you get certain things? I just see all the shiny stuff. Where do you want to start? Because we have some really cool stuff to talk about.
Okay, so we're doing two events that are going to have a bunch of prize support. We're doing the main World Championship event, which is in the standard format. And this year, for the first time, we're doing a Startup World Championship as well. We
Hmm.
figured we have two main formats for this game. We have two groups of players that really need OP support. And we decided that we didn't want to make Startup a lesser format at this event. So
Yes.
the same amount of prize support that you're going to see for standard is also going to be available for startup. And you're not going to see all of that today. This is just a taste. So
Yes.
everybody should understand that this is just the first look. This is just the first taste. And you get that for free. We're going to show you all that, and then um as we get closer to the event, we're going to go ahead and show more cards, more additional items that aren't cards, and you're going to see those as well. So, um, can we start with maybe one of the playmat
You
images?
want playmats? We got playmats. This is the standard
Oh yeah.
playmats. These are gorgeous. So you can read the text on them. They're all with the 2022 Worlds logo. But we have for the world champion, so only one of these playmats exists in the world. That's Izzy Pruitt's. That's a Paladin Puemo, a favorite, one of the best
Yep.
companions. And on the back, which is absolutely gorgeous, that is the Blood in the Water full Scott art. How do you get that playmat?
You're going to have to come in top 16 or tie one of the top 16 people on points, and you will receive one of these playmats.
That is gorgeous. That full art is absolutely fantastic. Love to see that stuff blown up into full size. That's amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Oh yeah, I just it's an amazing piece of art. One of the things that you're gonna see as we get closer to the event, and when you walk into the hall for the first day, is one of our sub themes for this event is companions.
Okay.
Mostly because it's a very Rona response, because we haven't been able to do this in forever, and it's about our friends. So. Um, One of the things that I wanted to kind of do immediately with Worlds is just establish this theme where it's like, all right, this is about community. This is our community event, and the companions are just a lovely, lovely way to do that. So,
For sure.
yes, the world champion's going to win that one and only Paladin mat.
Super cool.
Um, the sub theme as well for standard, and you're going to see this on some of the cards that we're going to spoil later down the line. Is sharks is the top players. So that's why we did Blood in the Water for the playmat.
Oh, cool.
To just really show that sort of sub theme that standard is the shark pool.
Super cool. There's a bunch of comments in the chat, mind you, talking about people are stoked that there is more startup like
Mhm.
prize support. And again, I think that's such a big deal this year. Just to loop back on that, there's so many players who got into this game that have like only the Nisei startup cards. Obviously, worth knowing that
Yep.
proxies are allowed at Worlds,
hmm
so you can play standard,
hmm
you can play Eternal, anything you want. Just get those cards printed out yourself. But yeah, the fact that there's somewhere to go and compete and know that your startup decks are going to get good mileage is fantastic. All right,
Absolutely.
I got a bunch of other stuff. What do you want to jump into next?
Let's go ahead and show up the next kit image.
Okay, so this is I think
And
the
get started
startup
with
kit,
that.
right? Cool.
Yep.
So speaking of startup, more companions. The startup world champion gets the Trickster Taka playmat, another companion playmat, and then in the background we see, and I guess you'll plug in how you get this, but that is the Adam S. Doyle twinning art, and that twinning art is really nice. You see a lot of details out in the horizons of the
Mhm.
of Essa there in the middle, and then we also have some cards. That's 3 copies full art of Matt Skarovka, right? And that is
Yep.
absolutely gorgeous. Again, a Scott Aminga, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so one of the things that we're going to do on a couple of cards that you're going to see um, is we're actually going to do a couple of full arts. And the booster sort of allowed us to experiment with this. We didn't unfortunately kind of make all of them look awesome. I think that they look pretty good, all of them, but there are certain standouts like Hakarl.
Yeah.
Um, but when there is a piece of art that works in both formats, because it's really portrait. Um, well, ice is different. It's portrait on the card, and then it's landscape on a full art, and then it's the reverse for other types of cards. So you don't commonly have art that works for both,
Hmm.
just because we don't ask for that much bleed. It's not really. We send a specific template. The artist works to the template. Things of that nature. But we saw this piece of art, and we were like, okay, it looks fantastic. And what's a piece of ice that's going to be pretty decent in startup? Oh, okay. Um, so we can go ahead and do this. And we're going to do that moving forward.
Cool.
Not always, but it not only like displays the art and gives you this nice full card. It's also quick for us to do, which is awesome. I can template up these cards in basically minutes, and then we have something that's good to go. And I don't think that you're getting cheated of anything here. I honestly want these cards as
Yeah.
full art.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think this one, specifically this one, the framing on that full art sideways with the ice is absolutely gorgeous. I think
Hmm.
it's fantastic. This
Yeah.
is fantastic. Is the twinning playmat also like a top 16 sort of thing, or how do you see that?
Yep.
Cool.
So that is for the top 16 of the Startup World Championship, or again, if you tie on points, you'll also get one of these mats.
Cool. And again, we're going to show more stuff today. I don't know what's assigned to what, but it's important to know at least. Correct me if I'm wrong, but for most worlds, there's a lot of stuff you get for just like showing up, for making like
Hmm.
winning some amount of games. So while you see some fancy stuff and think, oh,
Yep.
top 16, that's not for me, I promise you there will be stuff that
Hmm.
you're just going to get. So don't worry about it too much. Okay, where are we going from here?
Absolutely. Did I send you Maskarovka as the actual single card? Because
Nope.
we can just show everybody a close up. Oh,
No, that's the biggest I have
no.
of that, but no worries. It still looks great from that distance.
Okay, so let's go ahead and move to some of the side event stuff.
Cool.
So let's go ahead and start with dealer's choice,
Okay.
whichever one you like.
So if I'm not mistaken, you get these from side events. They're two full arts. You got the Liberated Count and the Midnight 3 Arcology. Again, full arts. Liberated Count is a full art. I love it. This is a pretty standard Anarch card for a while. Maybe the meta's speeding up a bit for it, but the idea is that you have extras on deck for Anarch deck building without swapping stuff. I love having extra copies of the fundamentals. And Midnight 3 Arcology, a new agenda. Get that nice full art treatment. We'll see how this works in the future with the Parhelion HV identity.
Hmm.
That's what I'm hoping. But
Hmm.
how do you get the stuff? Is it just side events for the like the small pools that like organically happen?
So it's going to be side events.
Okay.
So anybody that wants to run any sort of side event that goes in startup or standard, this is for startup or standard. We're going to toss them a pack of these cards, and then, um, well, we're also going to run pods as well.
Okay.
But basically, um, you get tossed a pack of these cards. Your event fires. Like if you want to do a draft, if you want to do anything like that, you're going to get a pack of these for everybody. Or we'll run pods that are standard or startup. Once we get like 6 people, we'll fire off a pod, and then you just report your results to us. And then, based on your results, you get one of these 2 cards.
Like
Um,
real quick, that is like the coolest thing, and I don't think a lot of people are aware of this. This plays like I imagine Gen Con works. I've never been, but the idea is that like if you and your 6 Netrunner friends you either brought or made that day, you can just say you want to break out and do an event, and Nisei will support you to do that, which is awesome.
mhm,
So cool.
mhm. In addition to that, and this applies to almost all of the prizes that you're going to see, actually, all of the card prizes at least. Um, in addition to that, we're going to have what we have called gunslinging on site. And in card games, what that means is you challenge a certain person, and if you win, you get prizes. So a lot of these prizes that you see locked to certain top 16 or top half, or you got to make X amount of whatever, that's not the only way to get them.
Cool.
So we're going to have plenty of staff walking around. Um, if they are not in the middle of something, or it's after the tournament day, it's 8 o'clock or whatever. Um, you'll be able to challenge them to a game, and if they are up for it, if you win, you get to pick a prize. We're only going to have a limited quantity of the higher prizes, so it's not like it's we're gonna make it rain with everything, and it's all gonna be like the same level. But um, there is other opportunities other than the tournaments to get certain types of prizing.
It's also a cool way just to meet people. They're part of Nisei, right?
Hmm.
Like just to be like, oh,
Absolutely.
I've read
Yeah.
your articles, I've heard your voice, and now you can
Hmm.
be like, want to play a game of
Hmm.
Netrunner, and they're excited to do it. And speaking of gunslinging, I think we have a couple. I'm going to call them shit postcards. Is that accurate? Oh, excuse me.
Yes. Yeah, that's correct.
All right, check this out. So as expected, Nisei has kind of done a whole. They did a heel turn and they're moving to NFTs. So we got two here. Blockchain with its shitcoin. Right click, save as. Amazing flavor text on this transaction based barrier. And on the other side, we have artificial crypto crash and art that I'm gonna draw this top deck and think it's a closed accounts every day of the week, and it just says and
Yep.
it's gone, which is so good. And also, like
Yep.
the world's icon just has a salt shaker pouring salt on it, which is just absolutely phenomenal.
Yep. Yeah. So these are yep, for a lack of a better way to put it, the shitpost prizes.
Yeah.
Um, so basically, you're going to be able to get these almost exclusively through gunslinging. These are going to be one of the other prizes that you can pick, but that's sort of the support for that event. Um, and there's a certain way to activate my trap cards, so to speak, that you'll have to figure out on the day.
Whoa. Okay. Do you know? Is it like everyone from Nisei who signed up to be gunslinging, or do people have to opt in? Like, if someone finds famous Patrick Scorpiusclar in a hallway,
Mhm.
like, can you just grab him?
So it's opt in,
Okay.
and also I would like to urge everybody, if it looks like they're feeling run down or they say that I just can't do a game right now, we don't want anybody to pressure people to do the gunslinging, but there's gonna be plenty of us,
Yeah.
so you will get an opportunity at some point. And I'm the type of person, more is always better when it comes to prizing. So if if you take a game off of a Nisei member and they can confirm, you're going to get a prize. Even if they didn't really opt into my list, if they just want to say, hey, they took a game off me, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We'll
do
consider it gunslinging.
keep it in mind. Everyone's gonna be busy, but we'll find some time to make this. This is something that I've seen at other events,
Absolutely.
so you'll make it work. No
Hmm.
worries. Can we
Absolutely.
want to go from shitpost maybe to shiny? I think we have some shinies here.
We do have some shinies.
Okay,
Yeah, we
this
can pop those on.
I'm interested to know how you find these, because foil cards is something that Nisei's been doing on a very small amount for a while. A lot of the foil cards you've
Hmm.
seen as, I think I've seen hedge fund foils, but we've seen one of
Hmm.
foils, cards like Rebirth. But these are actually honestly
Hmm.
foil cards, and they're not foil cards the way you think of like some like Pokemon cards or like Magic. Like this is full foil. Like the whole card is foiled, not just the art. And these are all
Yep.
the 1 of 3 2 agendas. How do you get these? These are so cool.
Okay. So these are the limit one agendas, and we're going to be doing these in foil. You're going to get two of these at either startup or standard events. And don't quote me on this. I
No worries.
actually have to look it up.
I can stall for time.
Um, I think that it is the top half.
Cool.
But I don't want to give people the wrong impression here. We're gonna actually note all of this in an article.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, when we post that, you'll actually get
Yeah, no worries. You can leave it vague. People will find
a
out
breakdown.
soon. It's just nice to see this stuff because this stuff is really cool. I don't know if you've seen. Most people have seen the foil Nisei cards, but they're pretty slick. I'm a big fan.
Oh, sorry. It's gonna be a a thing on points. You have to
Oh,
get
cool.
27 points, which is 27 divided by
It's like 9
3. You're
wins.
gonna have to get 9
Yeah,
wins.
cool.
Yep. So 9 wins, and you'll get two of these
That's doable.
for your particular event. Yep.
I think that's doable.
Should be pretty doable. top half prize is something different that we're not going to go over today.
Cool.
But yeah, 27 points.
Okay. Awesome. We got more stuff to show. I think this is something that was said before, but I have a photo of a little cube. Let's talk about the cube. It's a die. This is the mark die.
The cube.
The cube. This is for Sable for sure. It's the 3 icons on this, I believe, are the exact same ones that come up on the cards in Midnight Sun. So at the bottom left, it's kind of on its side. That is the HQ mark. The inside of it kind of spells an H out, an easy way to remember. The beaker is research and development, and then server rack is archives. So the idea with these dice, you roll them when you need a mark, and then you can just move that to the server to remember and roll it every turn. This should be a fair bit faster and maybe more exciting if you're playing your Sable or your Virtuoso or any mark stuff. This is awesome. How do you get this?
So this is a participation prize.
Ooh.
So the catch here is that we were only able to source 200 of these dice.
Okay.
There will be more later.
Nice.
And we are going to offer signups to get on a waiting list for these dice. So you can sign up and actually get one of these sent to you. The first 200 people to come to registration and get their badges are going to get one of these dice. Once we do 200, we're out, and then we have to get on a waiting list ourselves for our manufacturer.
I promise you, if you bring Sable to Worlds and you're looking for one of these dice and you're like the 201st person, somebody will lend you a Sable die for the event, if not, so don't worry about that too much. But this is good. I think the same thing happened to some extent to some dies at previous Nisei events where they didn't have enough and they just mailed them out. Maybe I'm making that up. Speaking of Nisei dies, these are the ones that were from Worlds last year. They're like better quality than they needed to be. I'm actually a big fan of these, so I don't know if they're the same make. But that's cool.
Yeah, they're from Chessex.
Whoa.
We're not doing the beveled edges on it, though. So this is going to be just a straight edge die.
Cool. Yep. Awesome. Really cool. What do we have? We have a bit of Eternal support. You want to see an old card? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oldie but a goodie.
Estelle Moon. So for those who haven't seen this card yet, this came out in Terminal Directive and has been out of the standard format for a while now. I guess it's banned. It's not. No, because it rotated. That whole box rotated technically.
Yep.
Tell me if this card is good if you're reading this, if you haven't played this before. But in short, this is prize support attached to Eternal format. There's going to be an organized Eternal format, which, if you don't know what Eternal is, it is a format in Netrunner of organized play in which you can play with any card basically from all of Netrunner. There are, I think, only 4 cards banned, and there's a point system where each card is worth amount of points, and you can only have so many points in your deck just to give it some sort of balance, so it's not totally out there. But this is Moon's, and she's always been immensely powerful. Have you had time to appreciate the art?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's so good.
We specifically requested on those monitors that you see there's some callbacks to some additional cards.
Okay, I want to run through this real quick because I think I can get most of them. I'm like slightly unsure on one, but if you know what the sort of archetypes this deck went with, at the top right there, you have Jeeves model Byroids holding his class dish. I think on the right side, it's a bit cut off. That looks to me like turtlebacks because you kind of see like arms in space. Maybe I'm right. I don't know.
I think that one is actually supposed to be advanced assembly lines.
Oh, that makes sense too. Cool. Okay. In front of you at the bottom, you have the 2 Adam and Eve Byroid, and it kind of looks okay. I think this is probably just the hair on the Eve Byroid, but when I first saw it, I thought there was a snake on Eve's shoulder. Kind of makes sense. And then lastly, in the top left corner, this took me a bit, but I think that's like a sports team, like the team sponsorship player, because behind it you see the Marlin or the fish logo. I was trying to remember the name of the sports team in New Angeles. That's so cool.
I can't remember what they're called, but yes, you nailed it on all of them except for the advanced assembly lines.
Okay, cool. Moons is wild. I think she's a 3-point card, so one of the most expensive cards in the format. But if I know there's people that love Eternal, and getting enough people together to have an Eternal format in person is, I don't think, ever happened. Literally has probably never happened. Oh, Swordfish. Yeah, it's Swordfish. Thank you.
Pretty rare, but there are going to be, I know especially, there's going to be at least one Nisei person that is going to come with some Eternal decks. So if you want to get your Eternal on, if you're one of those Eternal sickos, absolutely, you're going to get not only this Estelle Moon, but we have another card on the way as well.
Ooh.
So there is Eternal prize support. And even if you don't like Eternal, if you just want them because, art is shiny, again, gunslinging is going to be your bet, and it can be one of the prizes that you can pick.
Yeah, speaking about art is shiny, I think this might be one of my favorite cards I've seen so far from the Nisei crew. These are called the avatars,
Mhm.
right? Is that the name? Is
Ooh,
that official?
yes.
Okay, sick. This is wild. I'm going to show you the three of them in a fan, and we have zoomed in versions to see this, but this is kind of like the coolest thing. What I would think this is. So basically, these are the three runners you've experienced from System Gateway, but these are like the digital manifestations of these runners, the way that either they project themselves or make themselves look in cyberspace. And they're so cool and they're so flavorful. The way when I saw this, what I first thought is not like, oh, this is an alt art, but it kind of struck me the way that like live service games give you skins for characters. Like, oh, you really like this like MOBA character. Why don't you play that MOBA character dressed up as something different? And this nails that idea. So people who are fans of these characters get a bit more like expression. This thing is so cool. What can you tell me about how did this happen? Whose idea was this? How did we get here?
So this right here is an idea that Anzi K or Morgan,
Mhm.
our narrative director, had. They had this idea in their head that the runners that you see on the cards, that's not what they're going to look like in NetSpace.
Yeah.
NetSpace is like a hallucinatory world where you could really be or look like whatever you want. Um, so they came to OP and were like, "All right, I got this idea. I know you're looking for cards to do for prizes. What if we do IDs and they're this?"
Yeah.
And immediately I was like, "All right, yeah, we're gonna do that." Um, and so um, they wrote up some notes for us, and then our team fleshed out the art briefs, and then we found this fantastic new artist for IDs. Uh, we love Ben, and Ben's still going to get an amazing amount of work
Mhm.
whenever Ben wants. But um, this person looked like an awesome choice just based on um, their ArtStation profile,
Cool.
and so we handed him this. We saw the sketches at first. We lost our minds, and then we got the final art back like a week ago, and just proceeded to lose our minds again.
They're so cool. I'm gonna go through the
So.
big arts while we talk about them, just because you can see the amount of
Mhm.
detailing and like referencing to it. But yeah, this is really cool. This is something I'm excited to see for like every single runner going forward. I'm whether or
Mhm.
not that's possible, but you know what I mean. Like I really like this idea.
Yes, it's a fantastic idea.
This is Lou, our Wilder. You get its own flavor text, Kiss the Chef, and you see the towel on his shoulder. This is full Wilder. Lou wants to be a wolf, and in the digital space, he truly is a wolf. You get some cool references there. Obviously, he's the chef. You have the cleaver in
Mhm.
his holster, and you also see like the fur color patches line up with the tattoos Lou has on his meat space body. I think those are like the ripples off of the fleur de lis on his chest. Super cool, man. This thing is great.
Yeah, absolutely. This is probably my favorite one, and I'm so glad that I found a background to pop for it. So we got these without the backgrounds from Ferenc.
Okay.
Um, and I was looking through our like slush art and whatnot, and I was like, what's gonna make these pop? And I found this piece of art, and I was like, oh, with a hue change, this is gonna be perfect behind uh Lou, because it's got that really kind of cool wispy um and like streaky net space stuff that Kat Shen did with
Yes,
the cleaver
I was
art.
gonna say as the same
Um,
same style, same color.
absolutely, and we really loved we really loved the idea of Lou being a chef. I mean, canonically, he basically is, according to Morgan. I mean, that's the whole reason that his tools are basically like chef's tools
Mhm.
in Gateway. The cookbook and the cleaver and so on and so forth. So um, the what Morgan wanted to really do here was show the juxtaposition between real life and net space, and basically in meat space, Lou is a party animal, a rabble rouser, a person who initiates a wildcat strike, which is a type of labor union strike where you don't get authorized by your union before it happens. And wanted that juxtaposition of this stately gourmet chef within NetSpace, this person who likes to um, um, really compose themselves. And obviously, Lou, being a wilder in meat space, is canonically a furry, yes. And we wanted to really show that on this card because you know what? Furries are fucking awesome. And if you don't think so, then well, I don't want to talk to you.
The net space part of this is amazing because I have no idea how you put a hairnet on this
Yeah.
guy. So this is sick. I'm into this. This is really cool.
Yeah. So this is one of my favorites, but I love the other ones too.
All right, talking about other ones. This is Zaya. This one's I think the color on it's absolutely fantastic. I feel like there's some lore
Yeah.
to this that I'm not privy to exactly. With the medallion, with the headpiece, it's a bit galactic, ethereal, but I don't know what it is. I like it. Do you know more about how what the art spec on this was?
Yeah. So this is probably the wildest brief, probably the wildest idea that Morgan had. So Morgan was thinking about Zaya's background. Zaya is basically somebody who finds targets on shipping manifests. You know, there's
Mhm.
somebody that is a finder, a seeker, a fixer, right? And one of the things that Morgan said is really important for them, not only because they have family, she has family, um, I believe a daughter in fiction. I can't remember if it's
Oh
a son
yeah,
or
it's been a
daughter. I
minute.
cannot
I
remember.
forget. Yeah, but it's mentioned
But
in the story. Yeah.
but that is like one of the core things about Zaya. So getting caught doing things within NetSpace to her is one of the worst things that can happen because it puts her daughter at risk. And because of that, Morgan was like, well, she would really obscure her face, her identity. And what would that lead to Zaya looking like and acting like in uh, NetSpace? And so this is supposed to be Zaya with her identity kind of maximally obscured, and then the robes and whatnot are sort of like what's that movie? The one with the shifting costumes.
I'm not sure I know.
Um, it's a very trippy movie.
Okay.
I'm gonna remember it after we stop talking. But also, it's supposed to display her, her sort of agility as well. You know, we have these flowing robes around her. We have these loose fitting flowing robes. And the same thing. This came without a background. I found some slush art, um, and I was like, the way that she has her finger pointed,
Yeah.
that's just gonna be perfect. So I popped it behind there, and it worked. And I was
Oh,
like,
it
okay,
works
ship
really
it.
good. Yeah, this is really nice. I think this
Yeah,
might be
yeah.
my favorite out of the three, but I think they're all absolutely fantastic. Okay.
hmm
We got one more. If you like green, hey, here's Dao. I think it's Dao. I've been saying Tao. I think it's Dao. We'll find out soon. And this is a mixture of I don't know. You get some Mortal Kombat in here, some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If I'm not mistaken, Dao uses these sort of like Waldos for like extra mobility to see like the full kind of like
hmm
chitin like mexed out suit with the like pantograph arms grafted onto
hmm
the sides of it. Absolutely fantastic.
hmm
There is some script
hmm
written on his chest plate. I don't know if that's an actual script. I don't know if that says something specifically, but this thing is super cool. Armed and armored, also great flavor text.
Yep, yep. So also has some interesting lore behind it. I unfortunately don't know what the script means.
Okay,
That is something that Conrad and Morgan worked on, and I failed to ask those questions, so
we'll
I
find
can't
out.
give you any insight
That's
there.
okay.
But the really cool thing about this was that, and I think you're right. I think it is Dao.
Okay,
Um, so they, in their normal life, they live on the moon because they have a musculoskeletal condition
right.
that means that their body has trouble supporting its own weight. In addition to that, they wear a biomechanical exoskeleton. And what Morgan was thinking is, okay, you can do this thing in fantasy and sci-fi where technology or magic fixes all your problems. And you can have a disabled character that doesn't really track as that because everything is fixed for them because of magic or science, right? And it was really important to us that no, that's not how that Dow would see himself in net space. His biomechanical suit within meat space is a huge part of who he is.
Right.
It's a huge part of how he interacts with the world. And so when we go over to NetSpace, this becomes his armor. This becomes his way of interacting at an even deeper level with NetSpace. And so Morgan just kind of took that idea and just kind of ran with it. And then um, Ian, my second in command, wrote up the brief and also ran with it with having like an engineering background. And we really loved the idea of incorporating um, the console arms as well. Just
Yeah.
having those in there.
Oh man, they're so cool. I'm a big fan of this one too. I think these are all fantastic. So again,
Mhm.
these are the avatar arts. How do you get these? Did we talk about that? Apologies if I'm repeating myself.
So you get those by being top 16. So these are
Ooh.
very limited run.
Wow.
Also tying on points,
Okay.
also gunslinging,
Okay.
and
Gunsling, that's important.
um, top faction if one of those factions hasn't made it into the top 16.
Okay, cool. So if something's not represented and you're representing it, you'll be rewarded. That's
Mhm.
that's reasonable. Cool. Okay.
Yep, absolutely. So the top 16 people are going to get all three. The top faction will get the one of the faction.
Okay, cool. I think,
Yep.
if I'm not mistaken, let me review my documents. I think there's only one more thing we have to show right now. Again, this is not everything. There'll be more coming up. Stay tuned to Nisei.net. But this is, I think, is a really important one. This is specifically not a Nisei thing, but it's kind of like a call to action to some sorts for a lot of
Mhm.
people. This is brand new art from Katchen, from Kizra, who might be in chat right now. This is Paladin Puemo. Ah, I love this. If you don't know,
Yeah.
Katchen has done a fair bit of art for the last Nisei sets. They have their own artist page on Make Playing Cards, so you can go grab stuff there. But I know Kat showed me this. The idea is that there is going to be a space, and this happens all the time at these sort of events where artists from the community will bring their stuff to Worlds and be able to distribute, sell whatever they want. Now, we were talking a bit about having an artist space that Nisei is in some way like giving a table or something. What can you say about that? Hey, Kat.
So it's pretty basic. So we're not getting too fancy with it. What we're doing is we're setting up two tables for what it has affectionately been termed Artist Colony after the card in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a channel on Slack as well, the StimHack Slack, that is also the same namesake. And this is something that has always happened at World Championship events. Even when Fantasy Flight was running them, we would
Yeah.
have this sort of thing happen where we're going to have two tables there for them. They're going to be there's going to be signage directing you there, and any artist or creator in the community that has anything that they would like to put on display or sell, they're free to grab a chair, sit at the table, and start selling stuff.
Cool.
Um, and they don't have to be there at specific times. They don't have to really do anything for sign up. As long as there's space on the table, you can sit down and start selling stuff. And we'll let people know constantly, day after day after day. Next to our merch booth is Artist Colony. Go ahead and get your stuff from these fantastic community members. We don't have any restrictions on it, and we're not handling any of the payment. We're not taking any cuts or anything like that. So we would suggest everybody brings cash
Yeah.
because we can't guarantee that any of the artists are going to take more than cash. I also think that most of our artists are going to want American, but
Oh
don't quote me on that.
no, it's
Yeah,
Canada. We have plastic
yeah,
money
it is.
here.
It is.
I don't know. I
But
I have Canadian money. I don't have American money. I'm not getting American money to go to Toronto. That's all I'm saying.
some of them may take PayPal and Venmo, but don't quote me on that. And we're not forcing any restrictions. So, however you're going to pay artists is however you're going to pay artists.
Yeah, I imagine
And whatever
there's
they accept is whatever they accept.
it's up to them. Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of Worlds, also Kevin's in chat. Yeah, I remember a Worlds just going over to people who are selling stuff. I have a bunch of these from Kevin from like years ago. So you'll find people. The fact now that they have like an area they can all come together is fantastic. I know Kat is working on some other art. Whether stuff is going to be at Worlds already, I don't know. Maybe Kat can say more. But there's definitely more brewing, and it's not obviously just Kat. There's so many people who are going to bring their stuff there to trade, to sell, to give away, like whatever you want to do. It's just awesome that you can go to a place and all this stuff is in one spot, which has been very hard. Yeah, this is a really good cat. I'm a big fan of this art. This is great.
Yep. Kat says also, just as an aside, that they've always done local currency, so we can confirm it. At least Kat and a lot of their artist colony friends will be working in local currency. So
Cool.
um, that's good to know.
Yeah, take your money, go get dinner. You'll figure out a way to spend it in Canada. It always converts out, I suppose. But yeah, Canadian money. It's plastic. It's fun. You'll love it. It's great.
Loonies and Toonies.
We still have those. They're great. Um,
Yeah.
I think that's all. I think that's all we have. And of course, there's going to be so much more. We've showed a lot today, and this stuff is really exciting. I don't want to put you on the spot too, but do you get stuff for just showing up? I know we saw the die. Is there more to that? Because a lot of this stuff has been like, placement, stuff like that. But how does that look? What are people expecting?
Yes. So you are going to get our participation prizes for um, both standard and startup. You're going to get 2 play sets of cards.
Cool.
Um, I'll actually just tell you what they are.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that happened. Sick.
But we don't actually have them for the stream.
Yeah,
one of them's almost done, but Palangi and Cleaver are going to be our 2 participation cards.
cool.
So you just show up and you get the Palangi or Cleaver. Obviously, if you're one of the first 200, you get one of the Mark dice as well. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but you are going to have an opportunity to win a ton more prizing over the course of the event. I'm even going to bring a stack of old prizes
Yeah, me too.
that we're going to be raffling off during the event as well. So um, you have a chance to win plenty of stuff in addition to getting these 2 cards, which are going to be Palangi and Cleaver.
Exclamation mark raffle is correct. I know myself, I'm also going to bring some old, I guess not alt arts, but old playmats I have just to be able to give to people. Maybe if you're there and you don't have a playmat, we'll get you a playmat, right? Like there's a lot of stuff to get around.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Dope.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have no doubt we're going to be hearing more. Again, stay tuned to Nisei.net if you want to see all this stuff compiled. At some point, there'll be a post, but Worlds is very soon. Do you have a call to action directly again? I just want to plug this one more time because it's so important, and so much of the word Worlds makes it sound like a competitive event. I've always said, as you know, Netrunner convention where Worlds is happening, but do get involved. It's in about a month. It's in Canada, in Toronto, which is in Ontario, which is in Canada. It's like close to Buffalo, if you know where that is. If you're an American specifically, that's not helpful for Europe or the rest of the world. But it's there. There is a block of hotel rooms. I don't know if I guess you're familiar to speak about that. What can you say about the hotel block? Because I know that's the most convenient way to get involved.
Yeah, so the hotel is on site. It's the same venue. We're gonna be just one level below the lobby on the path system, which is the Toronto Underground. What's the word for it? The underground walkable system that they have there. And so you're basically going to be able to roll down from your bed down to below the lobby in the hotel and roll into the event. It's easily the most convenient way to do it, although there is great public transportation in Toronto. And obviously, if you have another hotel that's on the path, you totally could do that. But we have probably the lowest rate that you're going to find for this style and quality of hotel in the area. You can book a shorter stay. You don't need to book all 4 days, but you can get there the night of the 6th if you want and check out the morning of the 10th if you would like, which is a 4-day stay. But you can do 2, you can do 1, you can do 3, anything in between. Well, that's all the numbers, but um, we have the 375 room nights. We blocked off 100 per night, 75 on Sunday. They are over halfway filled now,
Cool.
which is good. But we would urge people to do more, and the booking on those hotel rooms does end September 8th.
That's soon.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
So basically, once September 8th happens, those hotel rooms are going to be released back to the hotel for reselling, and you're not guaranteed a room after that.
Yeah. So
So
if you've been waiting to get a room, do it sooner than later because it's going to be only more difficult going forward.
Yep, we don't know what type of events are going to get booked at the same hotel, if they're going to need rooms too, anything of that nature. So, if you want to make sure that you get a hotel, then September 8th is the deadline. And what you get in exchange for making sure that you get it before the 8th is that super low rate.
Cool. On top of that, it's worth noting that weekend is Canadian Thanksgiving, so other hotels might be a bit harder to find. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but look into that. This seems like a good rate. It's definitely an easy way to go. On top of that, things that definitely need to be said. If you're traveling internationally into Canada, look into ArriveCAN. I know this is used on the American border. I think it might be used internationally too, but it's an app system that used to track passports and vaccinations and stuff like that. Just look into that because if you come to the border, specifically the American border, again, do your own research, and you don't have the setup, it's going to be a fair bit harder for you. So get that set up sooner than later if you're traveling. Same thing about passports. If you need your passport, get your passport. It's hard to get passports, so don't leave that for the last moment. Go check if it's expired or not. And we'd be so excited
Absolutely
to see you there in Toronto. Also, real quick, if you want to sound like you're a local, maybe you have an accent, that's going to be hard to get away, but don't say the last T on Toronto and then you blend right in. Local secret. Cool.
So, how do you say that? Toronto?
Toronto. Yeah. Yeah, I love it. People say Toronto and like you're an outsider suddenly. So welcome. Join the club.
Oh.
It's nice.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, Orbital. Thanks so much for joining us. Again, stay tuned to Nisei.net. You're going to see more stuff coming up. If people have any questions specifically about Worlds, whether about like housing or questions, is there any way that we can direct them?
Oh yeah, if they've got any specific questions about Worlds or anything related to organized play, drop a line to op@nisei.net or DM me on Discord or Slack, and I will do my best to answer whatever questions you may have.
Sick. And again, I don't think we talked about this out of schedule. So if you have no comment right now, so be it. But is there any news about potentially streaming for those who cannot make it? Is that something that's I don't know what the news is on that front, I guess.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We are going to have a streaming setup. We're working with an audiovisual company right now,
Sick.
and we have a couple of people locked in to be commentators.
Cool. Okay. I've got that question a lot. Is there going to be a stream? So it looks like there's going to be a stream. That's not a reason to not make it. Let me tell you, it's a different thing in person, but that's really good to know. Obviously, people are excited. On that note, go to twitch.tv/Project Nisei, give them a follow, give them a subscribe if you got that Amazon Prime lying ground, and you'll be notified this weekend, next weekend, and at Worlds. So good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Really appreciate you having me on and
Yeah.
allowing us again to use your platform to generate some hype. So I want to let you know that we really appreciate it, and I don't know what else to say. Always be running.
Cheers. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll release you from this call. Thanks for taking the time, sending us the stuff. It's always really exciting for, I know, me and my community to be able to see what's coming up and get excited for Worlds. So thanks again.
Yep,
cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
All right, cool. Welcome back, everyone. That was Orbital, who's joined. That was all live, if that wasn't obvious. It was weird that we jumped from that to that. It looks like it's pre-recorded, but did you see how he answered chat questions? Immediately changed his personality. Oh, wait, I was probably yelling the whole time. Those things are really sound canceling. All right. How's everyone doing? I think that stuff is really cool. That was great. Ah, Thunder, welcome. Yeah, I think it's really quite good. Price support has been obviously a really big deal. People going to places to get those rare shiny cards. Of course, we saw a lot of the stuff that is like higher tables. So, you know, your mileage may vary. Of course, a lot of the stuff being accessible to gunslinging, I think is like the biggest deal because you can get the good stuff by just finding someone and playing a game in Netrunner. So, hype. This is live. You got me hyped for Worlds. Maybe we'll plan around it next year. Yeah, of course. Like, I know this year can be a bit trickier. Obviously, the world is a different place than it was 2 years ago, and this time is really busy with like a lot of other stuff going on. So if you can make it, we'd love to have you. I promise you, you're gonna have a fantastic time. So hopefully, we see you down in Toronto. That was awesome. Hey, Frank, glad you liked it. I'm getting preemptively jealous of the few people who are gonna get an avatar. Yo, straight up, me too. Straight up, me too. I generally get some good prize support from Nisei for helping out. Mind you, I am going to be associated with the stream to some extent. I've submitted I was going to say threw in my towel, but that means I've resigned. But like I've been like, yo, I'm here to stream. I don't want to play. If I can stream and not play, I'll do it. So we'll figure out what's happening on that front. But like, oh man, they're so nice. They're so nice. I'm getting married that weekend. Can we reschedule Worlds? I'll ask, but congrats. That's really cool. More excited about Worlds and more sad that I can't go. Stuck for the folks who be able to this year, who are able to. Yeah, I hear you. There's a lot of people who obviously won't be able to make it, and at least I'm so stoked that there's a stream, and it looks like they're going to work with a company, so it's going to be like, you know, a polished, really great, high quality stream, which I'm really excited for. There's been some really good streams coming from Toronto, classically from locals, so we'll see if they can hitch a ride on that train. Just quietly gunslinging while commentating. Yeah, come find me. I'll play really quietly. All right, let me get some water. Thanks, Orbital, for joining us. That's really cool. Kat said that they're working currently on some new stuff. And again, you're going to see so many artists. We only shouted out one card just to make it very obvious that there's going to be a booth there. On top of that, like if you know somebody who has alt arts that is not able to go to Worlds, maybe you can make a deal with them where you will be there on their behalf, you know, selling stuff or what have you. So that's great. Hey, Orbital, you're welcome. Thank you. Of course. My pleasure. As far as I know, VTTV are done. Oh, no way. They don't exist anymore? VTTV used to do all the streaming for like X-Wing, and they did all the Canadian National stuff. FFG Nationals in Canada, classically, it was like Game of Thrones, X-Wing, all in the same room at the same time, if I'm not mistaken, at a hotel like across from one of the big malls, kind of outside. For what it's worth too, and like this wasn't said, but the event place where Worlds is happening is like downtown Toronto, if I'm not mistaken, right in front of City Hall. So like you are in downtown Toronto, which is great. It's not like being at a convention center like on the outskirts of Minnesota. No offense, FFG Game Center. But you know what I mean, right? Like you can just go, let's go get a really nice dinner. Let's go to the, I keep saying everyone should go to Kensington Market. It's nice, but you know what I mean. Good luck with airports and TO. It's been rough traveling through there. I know Air Canada's been a bit of a, you'll be fine. Schedule some extra time, but yeah, I hear you. Yeah. All right. What's the hour? It's 10:40. What do you want to do? I really have no clue. I like this. Is this like sports? If you want to go to Worlds, you need to win the Nationals or something? No, Gabriel. Oh my God. I hope we made this very obvious. Anyone can go. Anyone can go. There is no event at Worlds that is limited by any amount of meritocracy. It is only amounts like if you have a ticket, you're in. That's it. No, you don't have to win anything. In fact, there's only like 2 tournaments organized of all of Netrunner all year that are invitational only. That is the circuit breaker, which you have to win a circuit opener. I'm confusing people probably more than I'm explaining anything. And intercontinentals, which is like the top 4 players from each continentals. No, Worlds is a convention. Anyone can join. How does Continentals tie into Worlds? Not in the slightest. Besides, after Continental season, there'll probably be a most wanted list update. I didn't ask Orbital that because I don't know. That's not his remit, I guess. But hopefully Nisei says something about that soon. Gotta find a good pizza joint in downtown Toronto. Let me tell you about Pizza Nova. Solomir, I think you're baiting me. I'm now envisioning double-sided real space avatar alts for everyone. Oh, thoughts. Yeah, that's basically like Hoshiko, right? That'd be really cool. Oh yeah, Orbital, that's true. You can get a Worlds buy. Oh no, that is very true. I totally forgot about that. If you win Continentals, you get a buy that you can cash in at Worlds. What a buy means is that in the first round of the tournament, you're not paired against somebody and you get free 2 wins. That is the reward between Continentals that you can get. Again, That only is like a really appealing prize for people who are like really gunning for first place to make the day 2 top cut, all that nonsense. Because if you're coming to Worlds to play Netrunner and your reward is not playing Netrunner, what are you doing? But if you want to like mitigate loss and just make sure you're on that upwards track, yeah, that's a good prize, I guess. Yeah, thank you, Orbital. I forgot that there was about buys. Yeah, buys are a thing. Okay. All right. You want to talk about these deck lists? Stop sharing. Oh yeah, I guess I should stop sharing my screen. 1 second. Let me shut down all this stuff. Okay. Okay, so Continentals this weekend. How about ramen? I don't know. I'm not an expert about Toronto. There's a lot more people from the Torsog that could like recommend you where to go. I know like the Chinatown, Asia Town, all that's around Spadina Avenue, and then Kensington Market is kind of at the top of that. That's generally where like good food is, trendy stuff. Winning is fun, Andre. Winning is more fun than Netrunner. You get to round 5, you ID, and you go to the lounge, and you get your cigars and your board games, and you play Android Infiltration. Stupid sex robot. Excuse me. How do I... Edward. Hold on. How does it hide? I don't know if y'all see this. Why does this... Like, who clicks on this? How do they keep coming back? There's a couple of vegan spots within walking distance of the hotel, which I'm stoked to check out. Oh, JK Lawlings. Do you have names or anything? I know for me, like, I don't eat meat, so knowing where the vegetarian food, it's easier than vegan food. Most places have some vegetarian options, but I need to keep that in mind. Yeah, there's good vegan stuff. I can ask my sister-in-law. It's in Toronto, and she's vegan. She knows all the good spots. Okay. We talked about this deck. Let's talk about the other deck, because you're going to see it in Continentals. Infiltration, haven't heard that name in a long time. I wish I could find that game. It's a bit... Oh, man, I didn't know that was the GIF here. It's kind of been out of print for a minute. Okay. So, Lat. Were we all making fun of Lat the other day? Yeah, I'll take responsibility for that. We all goofed on Shaper. We all made fun of Lat. And Lat is doing really well right now. It turns out just having a bit of free card draw and having 1 link is good enough. Synchronous said this. I don't entirely agree with it, but a lot of the other Shaper abilities are not very strong, and Shaper is really good right now. So just having a relevant ability is okay. If I'm not mistaken, we saw a week ago or 2 weeks ago, we saw a deck list of the week, which was the Meta Breaker Woo that Crit posted, that Greg Tung posted. And that deck is harder to play. That deck is asking you to do a lot. You have to use Woo's ability to get out the Rizekis. Actually, that deck did it have Rizekis? I feel like it might have. To get your Pawn Shop engine and all that sort of fun stuff. There was straight up a game on day 1. I think it was round 2, where by turn 2, Sokka here installed a Rizeki, 2 pad taps, and the Tapworm. It was like turn 2. This is the thing, and a lot of people are asking, like, maybe Nisei should look at this or ban some of these cards. And this is why I really appreciate Sokka. Sokka, like, takes a beeline towards the good stuff. Sokka doesn't mess around. Sokka takes the good stuff and puts them all in a deck. And this is what I'd call the celebration of the lowest effort economy package you could ever put in a deck. Right? Oh, you want to install liberated accounts and click it? Oh, you want to like pawn shop, ace up pawn shops and play spec work and consider installing things? No. Do you know what you do? You play Tapworm. You can bring this back with Simulchip if you need to. You play Pad Tap and you play Rizeki and you're done. It's wild. It's so wild. And now this puts the corp on a clock because you're getting the inevitability of money. If they slow down to trash the Pad Taps, that's better for you because you're a deck that gets stronger the later the game goes. Same with the Tapworm. But yeah, it's totally wild. And like, it's just no nonsense. And then on top of it, you have a bigger event package than you've probably ever seen in a Shaper list if you played Netrunner 4 years ago. But you have all the good stuff. You have 3 Into the Depths. Instead of self-modifying code, this card is really wild. And you see that this card is so playable because this deck runs 3 Endurance. Why self-modifying code for an Angolo to pay 9 credits to be able to break 1 drafter when you could just install a boat for 8 and go? And at that point, your Into the Depths is actually straight up tutoring for your deck, and you can be aggressive. Like a Shaper list with Dirty Laundry is not very common. But the fact that you have Endurance Go, like you can just face tank into anything. And now you're playing a run-based Shaper deck. One of the bad things, so Shaper had like 1 strength classically in Netrunner, which was it was really good. It built this Doom rig where in the late game you're going to lose because they have all the best breakers, they have economy over time, good luck. But then Boat comes out, and Boat is one of the best early aggression cards. So now we have a Shaper deck that the power graph of it, and then it's just up here for the whole game. It's wild. It's so wild. And so we have the aggressive run package. We have, mind you, multi-axis that's really relevant in the meta. It's no twinning. It's Stargate. It trashes cards. It gets the cards that you want to. It has an impact on the game immediately. We saw Sokka doing like, just simulchip, reinstall Stargate, go, because I want to win now. And on top of that, you have a single Mad Dash, which is immensely powerful as well. A very good, easy way for him to beat his own runner list. But this thing is just immense. There's no part of this that is chaff. You're seeing Hyperbaric is getting played. The counters are coming up slowly with like Into the Depths, and I guess you can just pay money for it, but it's mostly Boat and Ika. I think Nanotech was played by Ice Prisma, who, again, congratulations to Ice Prisma, did quite well with the very same list, came in second. Very, very good. Are there no drip economy punishment cards on the corpse side? None whatsoever. There is no way to punish this econ package besides going fast. Like, that's the thing. How many turns does it take for Rozeki to be a good econ card? 5, 6. At 6, it's 1 click for 4 credits. Is the game over before turn 6? Then you punish Rozeki, right? The other issue with Rozeki is like it's maybe bad when you draw it late because it's a dead draw if the game's over in 4 turns, but Technoco exists? Technoco, okay. All right, well, you could also play, I have no thing. Okay, you win this one. The game, we had over 100 credits. I don't know, yo, Krillin Cello, how's it going? I don't think I saw that one. I know that was referenced. Hold on. Orbital, is there an article that explains what all these events and how they tie together? That would be sick. Happy taking recommendations. Lawlings, I'll get back to you. Remind me. I'll ask around. I have some folks who'd be very interested. Okay, I'll do a shout out next stream, which is not going to be next week, mind you. The week after, we'll do a vegan rundown. I'll ask. It's a good idea. I'm an old head who assumes this is common knowledge. Yeah, Orbital would be huge. An article to talk about all the events that are going on, what people should expect, what they should bring. I think we're going to spend a stream and maybe, please, I can't, this thing is way too distracting. I think we're going to do a stream where we talk about like you're going to Worlds, what you should know in terms of like basic etiquette. If this is your first event, right? Like make sure you're counting your cards before every game. Make sure you say good luck, have fun. Make sure you're hydrated, bring water, make sure you get some air. Like stuff like this is important if you've never been to a big event because it gets loud, it gets tiring. As someone who played Outfit, Tapeworm does work. Yeah. What list can beat this? I think some people say that Sports Metal is a possibility. Mind you, because this is a Shaper deck, and mind you, this is so wild because this Shaper deck doesn't have self-modifying code, but it still retains the sort of like one-up solution to niche problems package, but the only way they can pull them was with Into the Depths. So the idea is that they have a misdirection, but they can't self-modifying code for it. They can still simulchip for it, but like if you get hard-hitting news, you can deal with that. You can also run through a bunch of NBN ice, take a bunch of tags against Reality Plus, and just clear them. It's cheaper than breaking the ice. You have a Parisha, which is super good against the Acid matchup. Go get Into the Depths, install your Endurance. Hopefully it doesn't get returned with a, I keep saying Malia, but I mean to say Amani Sanai most of the time. And that's pretty good. You have the Rozekis, you have a Clot. It's good stuff. I've been playing on JNet for about a year and I'm just now paying attention to all these events. It's a really mumbo jumbo. Yo, Gabriel, anytime you think anything's confusing, let me know, let me say no, because everyone wants it not to be mumbo jumbo. Oh my God, the boat gift is giving me a geet at Law Jinx. Check this, how's it going? Yo, we just started the circle and done. We're playing 3 high willpower investigators. It's going good this time. I SMC overclocked for Rozeki turn 1 the other day and won, doubled the corpse credits. It can be that simple, right? Like that's the Cabinessa Wu ability that you can do all that sort of stuff. This deck isn't playing overclock, which is fun. It's playing 2 rigging up. Makes a lot of sense. Both for 5 is good. Number 1 con event tip, drink more water. Do you think you're drinking enough water? You're not drinking more? Fun fact thought. I read at some point that there was a research that was done that says that people who have to actively urinate are better at decision making because they have to make a decision quicker. Again, I did not read any part of that document besides the headline. And if you see me at an event where I'm playing, I am chugging water. And I constantly, the whole time I'm playing, have to go to the restroom. So I have to end my game quickly. And hydration is good for brain function. So I've heard. I constantly overhydrate during events and it's annoying. But you should do it. What list can beat this? PE? No, PE can't beat this. You got 1 Stargate and you have 3 Stone Ship chart rooms. You can't win. And the Clyde, right? Like you can't fast advance. The Stone Ship chart rooms makes you nigh unkillable. Let alone Lat gives you free card draw. And then the Stone Ship chart rooms on their own, like this card is so impactful. You can't get punitive to death if you keep one of these on the table. You can't get boomed if you keep one of these on the table, right? Like this card on its own just kind of wins. Water equals intelligence. I was looking at places like Planta, Copper Branch, and Rosalinda. I'm glad I'm not the only one who'd be interested in vegan plant-based options. Copper Branch is like it's a chain. I thought it came from America. Maybe it didn't, but Copper Branches are like, I don't think you would go to Toronto to experience a Copper Branch because I think you can do that in a lot of places. Maybe that's only places in Canada I've been, but Copper Branch is good. Copper Branch is not bad. I've enjoyed every time I've been to Copper Branch. We Love Circle and Done just picked up all of Carcosa in the new packaging. Oh, we haven't started yet. Yo, let me know. Carcosa, I think, is a lot of people's favorite. It's really, really fun. PD of Yore, like if you can go fast enough, maybe. Interestingly enough, this deck does not have any inherent ways to interact with like Anoetic Managarm. And those sort of like end the run abilities like border control, stuff like that, actually work really well against Endurance because it eats the counter faster than you can generate the counters. Like maybe that's fine. I just don't know if it's fine. Hogtown Vegan? What? Hydration is critical. It really is. Are we on the Covenant wet brain train now? I know they've been like talking about their water bottles a lot, but I don't tune in enough to the Covenant to know the water lore. One thing about Stoneship is the Corp can trash it with a tag. I haven't seen that line played yet though. Yeah, but like how are you gonna boom someone, right? Like if you mutual assured destruction, you just pop to Stoneship chart room and then you're safe, right? Like they can't double boom you. If they're tagged, like the cool thing about this list too is like you can tech it to the meta. Like if you're really worried about tags, like you could consider dropping, I don't know. Well, actually, the influence is kind of well used, but like you could get in a single no free lunch or something. There's ways to deal with it for sure. But trashing the Stoneship chart room, you just pop it at instant speed. They can never trash it if you don't let them, right? Number 2, wear the most comfortable shoes. Number 3, good poetry, non-sugar drink snacks. Shoes are important. You're gonna wear masks, mind you, at the event as well. I think you have to. So keep that in mind. Speak loud and clearly if you can. It's gonna be a bunch of people yelling. Old hockey coach wisdom, if you're not thirsty, you're thirsty. If you're thirsty, you're dehydrated. Hey, Jared, I like that a lot. I think that's true. I know I've heard like 7 out of 10 times when you think you're hungry, you're actually thirsty. I don't know if that's true. We could just find LTD for misdirection. Oh, if you're tagged? Yeah. If you're, wait, LTD? We could just LTD. What's LTD? ITD, into the depths, of course. Yes, ITD for misdirection for multiple tags. That's what you always do. But I'm saying like if they give you 2 tags through a mutually assured destruction, or they do like public trail into something, like you can just pop the Stoneship. But yeah, you're very good to deal with multiple tags. Yeah, masks required for sure. Bring cough drops, something for your throat. Yeah, you are going to be talking a bit louder than you need to because of masks. So do keep your throat in mind. I don't know if hotels classically, I think that hotel, or maybe I'm thinking of the other hotel where Nationals was. They would always have like those weird cisterns full of water that they put some amount of ice and then some amount of like random fruit in it. And so you could always just get water constantly. I wonder if like COVID has made that uncouth, but that was always great. That's where I would go. Just fill her up. Give me that good old cucumber water, which people are weird. When I want sugar, I'm dehydrated. I'm having the Corp on kill packages might have to just Drago for a tag as soon as Stoneship hits the table. But Macaroni, if they do that, right? Like, I think you let them trash it. Firstly, it's worth knowing that a lot of the Drago decks are not on kill packages because Drago inherently doesn't work with kill packages. There's no kill card that requires a single tag. So generally it's like Drago into Retribution, Drago into Public Trail, Drago into Return to Hand. And that happens more often than not with Self-Growth Program. So like Drago into Trash Stoneship Chart Room, fine. Okay, you can do that. I have 2 more Stoneship Chart Rooms and you just spent your whole turn, right? Like, I don't think I would be worried about that. I think Arc Lockdown Sports, yeah. I think Arc Lockdown could work against the Clot. Sports is really interesting. Like you do have the aggression of the endurance early, so you can have like a lean build. You do have Stargate, which is really important in that matchup for sure. You don't have Imp. I wonder if you could like drop a Tapeworm to put an Imp and then like something else if you really wanted to. Imp is really cool with Into the Depths, but again, you have to run something with Ice, which doesn't always happen against Sports Metal. Hogtown looks good, like a 30-minute walk from the hotel though. Oh, I don't actually know what that is. Excuse me. What about an archetype that forces more runs that the deck can sustain? There's not a lot of archetypes that do that. Like when you say that, what I'm imagining is something that people call like a jammy deck, where every turn they put something into a remote server and every turn that's a threat, like a seamless launch, something like that. And I feel like this deck can actually deal with it relatively well, right? Like they have the clickless economy package of Tapeworm, Pad Tap, Rizeki, so they can set up pretty quickly. And admittedly, they're going to need to find breakers sooner than later. But with Into the Depths, it like really does fast recharge your stuff. I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. And like a single endurance like trivializes a lot of the early HB rush stuff. Like Gatekeeper is really appealing as a 6 strength ice, but then this says I get through it. Now it's 0 strength. Go get your hyperbaric. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard, Scrub. Like kill decks are kind of out of the question. I think if anything, maybe they could use like some sort of really aggressive rush Jinteki deck, because I think like Nisei Mark tokens, Ag Infusion ability, all that stuff is kind of hard to get value. I think if you ice up everything and play a bit slower, there's a chance you can get there, but like it's a slow game, and then economy is going to matter, and then the drip engine overruns you. So I feel like you have to find the right middle, where like a pseudo Polana type Jinteki rush deck that can like get 2 end the runs on a remote server and get good agendas. That might do it. I do think the lists like the op list today that can fast advance with aggressive could also potentially do it. The outfit seems a bit weird with Tapworm and Pad Tap. That's not amazing. And then an Endurance gets through a lot of their like mean ice on face check trivially, and that feels bad. You can always play the baseball bat to protect the Endurance if you want to, but I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. And the later that game goes, your win rate falls off a cliff. Going for Rush seems so cheesy. Surely it's a synergistic answer to this. Yeah, I feel like something in the middle. The thing that I don't exactly like about Rush strategies is it feels like so much of the game is decided by your mulligan in your first 3 turns, right? Like if you have to win the game by turn 8 and you have a bad hand for the first 3 turns, like you're probably not winning. So I want a Rush deck to either be super high roll, unfortunately, or like have some ability to have flexible play. I don't know. Having multiple win conditions classically was like a good way to kind of pin Shaper, where it's like, oh, I can really deal with the remote server, but can you do that at the same time as worrying about this other stuff? And it's tricky because like this deck can deal with hard hitting news and can deal with boom. I don't know. Use a public transit if you stick within walking distance to the hotel, you're going to be doomed. Oh, in terms of like a 30-minute walk? Yeah, downtown Toronto, there's some good transit. There's the TTC, so there's buses and trams, and there's the metro, or the subway, I guess they call it. It's not bad. It's not bad. You can buy like a weekend pass, I think. They have the refillable cards. I don't know if does Toronto still use the coins? They used to use subway tokens like a year ago or 2 years ago. I think they discontinued those. They were really cute, but very small. Anywho, this is the deck to beat, it seems. And this weekend is America's Continentals. Tune in to Nisei. We're going to have a lot of Netrunner. And this is so exciting to see because this is classically what happened. And I wish we could show very easy graphics of this, but every single APAC Continentals has been a bit of an outlier to the meta following everything after that. Classically, the metas have always gone, or the Continentals have usually gone APAC, Euro Africa's, Americas, and now Americas is second, which is interesting. But if I'm not mistaken, last Continentals, and Sokka has now won back-to-back if I'm not mistaken, was won by a Fast Advance deck. Was that it? Oh, I'm thinking of Keelback on Titan. But I just always remember that the APAC Continentals is generally the smaller player pool. Generally, less people participate in that one. We'll see if that's still the case. But the meta has generally been a bit of its own thing. And whether it's because every week after that, people have like addressed that meta or have reacted to that or reacted to what they think people are going to react to. Cause, yeah, I'm interested to see what that is. I'm like super excited for Saturday. Let me tell you. Oh, the dime size TTC tokens are gone. They were adorable. They looked tasty. They were very dirty. Don't eat them. Yeah, okay. And that's that. We've talked about the other list. I've been playing so much JNet against LAT, like value engines and startup, and that's been really frustrating. I feel like Corpse and startup have way less options than in standard potentially. In before boat ban, I don't know. I know I was watching a Sengren stream last night and he was talking a bit about this, and the way that he said it, it's like, it's a shame that we gave Shaper one good card and we have to ban that card. Like there's a chance that if we just get rid of all the other stuff that makes Shaper good in the late game, like maybe you end up banning Rozeki or Tapworm or Patap, right? And then like they still have this run-based engine, but they don't have the inevitability of late game. Because I don't know if the problem is exactly endurance is too good. And mind you, there are ice, 3 subroutine ice, I guess, a bit more interesting. On Cell, you can click through one of them. Brawn, you can click through one of them. Envelopment. But like maybe if you make them play this as an aggressive early game deck, or you know, that's okay. But if they don't have the late game inevitability, maybe that's a bit different. Yeah, they have endless money. It's kind of an issue. The later the game goes, they still have endless money. Why do you? How? YouTube? Come on, YouTube. Report. How does this happen? Like, can you not just filter for anyone who has best adult dating site as their name to not be able to post in chat? I have to look into transit. I don't tend to wander too far then when I'm traveling for a con or something usually, but staying an extra day to do some exploring. Enjoy it. I'll try and come up with a list of nice things to do in Toronto if you're around. Mind you, it is Canadian Thanksgiving weekend, so it's going to be a bit busy, but it's going to be cool. You come to Toronto, go see Kensington Market. People like to see Casa Loma. You can see the CN Tower. It's nice. If you're in or around Toronto, I don't know, you can drive to Niagara Falls if you've never done that. That's like 2 hours away, maybe, not even. You can go to Hamilton. Don't go to Hamilton. Please don't go to Hamilton. It was a joke. What else is nice around Toronto? I feel like someone in Toronto. There's nice museums. The Art Gallery of Ontario kind of slaps. The ROM, the Royal Ontario Museum, is nice if you like classic museum stuff. The facade is like nonsense. They modernized it in the last 10 years, maybe older at this point. There's the Bata Shoe Museum, which I recommend. It's pretty cool. Go to the baseball game. The Blue Jays are probably going to be in the playoffs. Oh, Thomas, are the Blue Jay tickets still like $2, or am I an old man looking back at a young boy? Take the water taxi to Toronto Islands. Oh yeah, you can do that, right? Toronto Islands are cute. There's like a small airport on one of the Toronto Islands. They're neat. I know there's nice stuff there. I've never been. What's wrong with the Hammer Hamilton? I grew out outside Hamilton, and there's many summers where I would go into Hamilton to work like some manual labor job, like working at a steel factory or selling car parts or something. And Hamilton is, it's Hamilton. It's often called the armpit of Ontario, which is offensive to armpits. I'm kidding. Hamilton is not that bad, but it's like a steel town, and it's, I don't know. It's like, when you imagine Gotham at night and there's like, Hamilton's probably fine. I don't know. Hockey Hall of Game is there? Oh, Hockey Hall of Fame is in Toronto. Yeah, if you're into hockey. Somebody in the comments is asking why no pinhole in this deck. So why no pinhole is interesting. Endless money means you can just run any server directly over and over. It's not exactly endless money because it's endless money over time. For what it's worth, you didn't see a lot of decks that have like huge pinhole targets besides Drago. And even though there's decks, like the fact that you have endurance means that you can charge pretty quickly. And you're right, it's affordable. Oh, Jace ticks are about $25. That's not bad. How do can I just not make a ban? Like just not YouTube. This is so bad. Okay. Anywho, all right. It's 11 o'clock. What are we playing? I don't want to play this deck. I don't want to play this deck on the casual lobbies. It's funny because Hamilton, New Zealand sounds exactly the same. Isn't Hamilton like the capital of New Zealand? Is it really that bad? I really hope someone from Hamilton's not super upset. There's like this rivalry between like Burlington looks down on Hamilton and then Oakville looks down on Burlington. At least that's what I convinced myself. As someone who grew up in Burlington, we'd like to look down on both sides. Southern Ontario. Thomas, don't you dare. Oh, it's Wellington, excuse me. I think there's another, isn't Hamilton like the capital of something? Like Jamaica or something? I think I might be thinking of Jamaica. Theorycraft a counter for it? Play a rush deck? I don't know. I honestly don't know. And I'm so excited to see this weekend what people are doing. I feel like we should probably just, prison. I'm learning so much about Canadian bickering. It's really not a big thing. Not a lot of people live there. All right. I've never played an op Bladderweight Cody style aggro, not aggro, but like horizontal deck. Not sure I believe in them. 3 trust operation is really cool. I'm not sure why we're doing that. We can tag with Drago. So we trash a 1-coster. We can do advanced trust operation. Hold on. I feel like we need to read this. Oh, we had an MCA. Oh, okay. So we can do MCA combo. Fantastic. We can't clicklessly trust operation into, what's it called? Trust operation is really cute and op into Bastura Boga because you get your click back. It's really nice. Trust op is to kill through tech. Oh, so we could do like MC austerity policy, trust operation, boom, all in the same turn. Yeah, let's do this. Tempting to head to the Hamilton to go to the Tiger Cats game if you can't find a team. If you can't find a team and can go. Oh, no way. Yeah, go Tiger Cats, go. In Canada, we have our own NFL. It's called the CFL. I've joked about this many times on stream. There's like maybe 12 teams and 2 of them had the same name. It's wild out there. All right, what do we want to know about our triggers? In terms of Bladderweight, that's a fine card. CSR campaign, card draw. We have Drago, so we trash a 1-coster. So when MC Austerity going off, that's the best thing we have. We have Drudge Work for full prison. We have a Nasex, which I totally forgot about this card, that this you can trash to get a 1-coster at instant speed or at a click, actually, which is not too bad. We have a Svicator and Urban Renewals. I don't know what this is going to do. Isn't Tiger Cats a really redundant name? Well, people say Bulldogs. Oh, wait, that doesn't actually. People say Bulldogs. That's redundant. It's not a cow. It's redundant. Are there non-cat tiger teams? There's other tigers, I guess. Collective Arts Brewery in Hamilton. Their beer rocks. Ooh. I don't know. I grew up in Burlington, but I left before I was of drinking age. So I don't actually know much about that sort of scene. Prison ship. Tiger Moth Scrub, thank you. BC Lions? Yeah. I don't know if I know all the CFL teams. We have the Alouettes, which I'm pretty sure is a bird, but I could be wrong. I think the Alouettes are a bird. Blue Bombers are a bird or a jet. Corp. Yeah. I don't know what we're doing. I have no idea how this is going to play out, but we're going to figure it out together. So you're a fan of for first round chokers and have too much money to spend. The Maple Leafs will likely be playing Get Malik. Is hockey season already here? Kingston is the capital of Jamaica. Thomas, thank you. Shit. It's another city in Ontario. You got the only American who likes Canadian football? How did that happen? Is that an Aztec and started by C? Maybe seeing something on this channel this week. Colin, I tried. I played, I think, 3 games today. And it's really hard to get footage because sometimes you just lose games and it's not interesting. Sometimes you win games. We got 2 games in with the Az today. The one game we lost, we were playing against an HB deck that was just all they were doing was bioticking out from hand. And then by the time that you get 2 Vacherons, like the game is over because they just biotic out from hand and we just can't stop that. Unfortunately, in startup, you don't have diversion or any way to like interact with that too easily in this Az deck. It's really fun. I just wish we had like a couple more hours to get more footage so we could put out 2 videos next week. But that's probably the video that will come after it, but it'll be later, not next week, but the week after, because we're not going to be back till the weekend. Yeah, there are 2 teams called the Rough Riders. I think one of them had a space between Rough and Riders, but it's a really funny story. All right, Freedom. Freedom is actually probably a pretty bad matchup into us in terms of us because they can trash most of our assets really cheaply instead of paying the cost in the corner. We're going to mulligan this. Do we have hard-hitting news? I have way too many tabs open. We don't. Okay, this is going to be bad. Yeah, this is a nightmare matchup, I think. I feel really bad about this. Thanks, you too. Like things like Svigator, they trash us for 0. That's a problem. We also don't really have anything to jam on the table. So let's go and find some stuff. Oh, excuse me. Hold on. The sounds are coming on my speaker. I'm just going to go mute that. Freedom 55. Oh, yeah, they're in 55. Maybe that's like a silver lining here. This is ugly. This is bad. None of this is good. I think we draw once. We want to discard 2. What is this list? And unfortunately, we're not doing anything so they can set up. I have a very big deck idea for Az plus Ghost Tongue for a 1 credit discount on basically every card you play. I think it's possible. A lot of times with Az, like you're playing Chesva and Prognostic, Q-Loop, and Masterwork, so you generally don't want to play a lot of events. I think you could pivot and do that, but like you're just saving 1 credit on prepaid. So I don't know. We should expect fake noise resource. I don't even know in 55 cards. I'm not sure. Man, this does not bode well for us. I'll try and ice this up. They have the best like killer, Fractor, if they're playing what they're playing. If they're playing this seems really not good. If they're playing what is even the Fractor that you play? This means Chisel. From Baltimore, where we had an expansion team in the mid-90s, won the Grey Cup in 95, moved to Montreal to become the Alouettes in 96. Wait, really? The Alouettes came from Baltimore? I had no idea. Yusuf, thank you, Thomas. 0, Steelskin Scarring. Sure Gamble, they have good money. Let's go res the Urban Renewal. This is not going to do much. Maybe force some interaction. CSR campaign is good if that sticks. We'll draw once, double install. Our economy is floundering. What economy? At least Svigator we can like draw with the CSR campaign, then pawn the CSR campaign. That seems okay. Gets a credit, I guess. Yeah, Scrub, this opening hand wasn't good. They should probably start running. I feel like we're not gonna do. Oh, imp. Oh, okay, okay, okay. We had a good run. It comes down for 0 virus. Res Formicary. I don't think so. So many 0 costers. I think we should just fold here. I don't think we have any chance in this. Okay, Freedom. Got it. Now the imp the CSR campaign. Cool. No. I don't think we can leave HQ open with all these 0 costers in there. Not that they're doing anything. So they can imp this if they want. Admittedly, if we res this, like we're on 3 credits. All right, they imped it. They can trash that. So we'll go ahead and put the, honestly, I guess we can drudge work. We're going to be the Colts, but with wound up as a Stallions beating a Doug Flutie-led Calgary Stampeders. All right, let's get some money. Oh, it's behind. I always forget that you can do this from archives too. The write-up for this one's really weird. The MCA isn't for boom combo. It's for a combo that reinstalls itself and gives the runner 2-click turn. Lucas, really? But we could do a boom combo, right? I guess they're going to chisel the ice wall. Here, if they'll reckon they'll just run back with a double charm. So do we want to trade an ice wall? If we don't res it, we save a click. I'll pay a credit to rob them a click. Lucas, can you describe the combo? So here they could just bounce and come back. Yeah, they're going to do that. My friend from London, Ontario, I don't like being reminded of that. There's a YouTube channel that talks about, with this many cards in hand, I don't inform and carry this because they can just take the 2-meat damage. I think you can, but there's to grind them out. This is not a good start. All right, they have an MK Ultra, so let alone the Form Carry is pretty easy to break. Bladder Word on the table, at least now they need virus counters, which is nice, but they can just simul-chip back the Imp, which is, you know, bad for us. Okay, let's try and put more stuff on the table. MCA 2, click, trash get, Drago 2, advance, Drago tag, trust stop, click MCA. But like, why? That can't be better. Oh man, should we just concede? Like, I don't know if we can freedom through all this stuff, like infinite imp, fermenter. They trash everything for like 1 virus counter. Like, Formicary gives them more value. I don't know about this, y'all. Like, if we had hard-hitting news, I think we could like convince ourselves we could generate a credit differential. But we don't. Oh. Okay. Cool. All right, Urban Renewal. Ice Wall they can't deal with, so we could get that on the table. It's kind of cringe playing as a corp right now. I hear you. Don't concede you're going to win this. Janktivist, I appreciate the support. Sometimes you just need to hear that, you know? Yeah, it's hard out there as a corp. So Midnight Sun, and again, like the meta is still kind of unsolved. We saw some good showings this week. We'll see what it is this weekend or last week and this weekend. Knob Curie, okay, now it's infinite. Oh, tap. I think the hope is you have a Bladderworts and Urban Renewal on the board and they can't deal with it. I just don't imagine a world they can't deal with it, right? Like we're scoring behind ice walls and like 0 cost code gates or 0 strength code gates, right? Like they just chisel it down. And now when they trash something, they get the Knob Curie. JK LMAO. Okay, Form a carry here, they actually would have to let it fire. Do we care about it protecting us? Protecting HQ honestly isn't that reasonable. Yeah, whatever. We probably should have kept this for server 8. Enjoy your Form a carry. Maybe they take 2 meat here. That would be sick. Or 2 net. It's weird to see. I guess mouseless, but it's weird to see net damage on Wayland cards. Are you going to be commenting Continentals? Yeah, Thomas. For Americas, we're hosting it. So we're going to do all the mixing and like what's on screen. And we will be commentating through all of it. We're going to be joined by some nice people. I forget who's on the list exactly. And I don't know. I don't want to shout it out, maybe. I don't know, because I don't know how long people are going to comment for it. Whatever. I'm being awkward. They lost the Gachapon and Botulus. That feels like good for us. And Botulus Ice Wall. Like, how does this stick? I'm excited. I'm really excited for Continentals. That damage is meat damage to their Facebook. It's fine. We have a boom. We have a Svigator that goes down for free. Oh, I'm thinking Friday Chip. Now I'm curious, even better. Like, draw? Like, what are we doing? Like, I don't have a game plan here, y'all. What are you doing at Worlds if you aren't competing or commentating? I didn't really catch that. Mostly commentating, I hope. Mind you, there is the Crown of Service tournament. I think maybe I'll be commentating that. Maybe I'll try to play. I don't have a team just yet. But that's the one event that if I play, I'll play that one. But otherwise, mostly commentating. And between games where we're not commentating, walking around, seeing games, I'll try and have decks on me to play, or I'll play, if someone wants to play a game, I'll play your deck versus your deck, you know, stuff like that. That's mostly it. Just hanging out, having a good time. They don't care about our CSR campaigns, and that's true because we don't have money. I don't honestly know we res this one. This feels awful. We have MADs, right? We have mutually assured destructions. No, we don't have mutually assured destruction. Oh, it's all Drago, right? But how's an MCA going to stick? This is really dicey. It's another ob deck that doesn't have extract, and that like upsets me. Oh, this is the other one. That upsets me. I still need to find a Crown of Service team. Lollings, I'm not gonna offer to join your team right now because I still have to look around at like our local meta. But there definitely is gonna be like free trials. So even if you don't have a team the day of, you show up and you throw your put your name into the hat, and you'll get some nice new friends that day. Which is actually like, I know that's intimidating to meet some players. You also have to like not play the same faction. So I don't know. Maybe that's a bit tricky. But it's a nice way to meet people. What is Crown of Servers? Give me 1 second while we lose this run. Crown of Servers is a team tournament in which you and 2 other players come together. You all have to play a different faction, and you basically are a team. And so throughout the event, there's going to be so many rounds. You play against another team of 3 people, and you basically get paired against the person on the other team that has the same standing as you. So if you're the worst player on your team, you haven't won a game, you'll play against the worst player on the other team who hasn't won a game, stuff like that. And the idea is that you see a lot of diversity because you're forced to play all 3 factions. Say going into Worlds, 2 of the factions are ass. You'll still see a lot of them, which is really cool. On top of that, it's really interesting too because you're allowed to do table talk, which is a really nice way to be like, oh, I'm not very good at Netrunner. Maybe partner up with someone who's a bit more experienced, and you can actually ask questions to your teammate. Be like, hey, do you think I should keep this hand? What's my game plan for the strategy? Stuff like that for this. What's my strategy for this game? Stuff like that's amazing. Last I know, the only caveat is you're not allowed to do table talk in the last 5 minutes, just so the games don't drag on. But yeah, Crown of Servers, as Kat says, is my favorite part of Worlds. Every year it's been nonsense. It's also one of those events where like the minority of people take it seriously. Even like the best players show up with weird meta decks because inherently winning it doesn't have any impact. Like you still have to play Worlds the next day. A lot of people don't want to show their secret tech, so they just play like silly stuff. There's people with joke teams, people cosplaying, like do whatever you want. It's literally just fun time Netrunner. Team drafting Magic is like that super fun way. It's so fun to play because you see a lot of stuff. Even if you think like, oh, it's all, lat, which won't be the case coming to Worlds, right? But we're not even playing the game. Historically, it's been a cash tournament. I don't know. No, it's not still the case. The one cash tournament in Netrunner has been pretty silly. Yeah, good old is Spag still playing? Spag's coming to Worlds? I haven't seen Scott in a while. I want to see an Apex cosplay. Oh man. It's one of the final Worlds where you can play Apex and Sunny and Adam, which is kind of a big deal. Janktivist. I don't think we're getting there. I literally don't think we're like literally not playing the game. Right? Like value preemptive. This is what we've become. Like, I think we concede. I think we walk away. Cool. They trash that for free. Can we go home? I want to get off Mr. Bones' wild ride. A team where all the runner decks are mini faction would be cool. I have no doubt people have done that, and I have no doubt people will continue to do that. I don't get this deck. How do people not just play Miss Bones and win? Like, we have no money. You have to leave an MCA on the table for multiple turns, and our ice is Ice Wall. Oh, at least we'll lose quickly. Got him. Oh, it has a botch. Why didn't you warn me, Janet, that Formicary had a botulus on it? I didn't know it was carrying a disease. You think I was going to res the Formicary with a botulus on it? Come on. All right. I think we're going to concede this one. Hey, do you mind? Oh, we're going to draw into an STS. We're not going to even trigger Ob once. This is the bad draw because it breaks through. You mind if I throw in the towel? To date, I still don't understand how this deck wins. Apparently it did well. Cool. Good game. Thanks for the game. Catch your end. Yeah, all right. Well, we don't win those. I don't know what we would take to win that game. Like, how do we protect an MC austerity policy when our ice is ice wall white space format carry? Does anyone have any recommendations for? I got through most of that, JK. Does anyone have any recommendations for best adult dating sites? Let me tell you. My op deck, I splashed the HB Ice wave to tutor out border controls and special offers. Yo, I don't like special offer in op. Let me tell you. I don't know if you need a tutor. Like, just play battlements. Your battlement tuts your border control. That's good. That's playable. I'm going to try one more, but I really do not believe in this. Something has happened where I've been playing so many games grinding to get content that I have stopped tracking my win rates in my phone app because it's been miserable. It's been really bad out there. And I think a lot of it is like, I'm trying a weird thing and then no. Oh, I don't think I labeled this as, oh, that's a button I can hit. I don't think I labeled this as our stream. I think I put that as a casual game. Play more lat to pad your stats. Yeah, the Shaper stats classically are really bad. They're worse than all other factions, but I think that's because I haven't played a lot of Shaper this year. Yeah, I think we'll pick something else. I don't know. It's also a really hard week to like try and grind casual games because so much of the JNet lobby is people, you know, you see the names you recognize that are going to be playing this weekend and you realize they're out there testing the good stuff, right? Like a lot of these are people, you know, grinding. So we'll see. There's still a lot of games going on. It gets a bit laggy in the afternoon. Right now it's okay. But 27 games is sick. On a good day, like a couple months ago, it'd be like 13 games. And you'd be like, wow, it's busy out here. But like it's 40 games in the middle of the day here. It's really, really good. Has anyone played a big deal deck? Because I don't think I've seen one yet. I don't think I've played against one. And I definitely haven't played one. Could do the old Regenesis Jumon deck for something fun but bad. I think Colin and I would actually like, the problem is I've been trying to do startup content and that's been really limiting which corporations I can play. I was thinking of doing like a startup Regenesis deck, but then you look at it and you realize there's no 5-3 agendas in Jinteki. That's rough in startup. Where as soon as you get to the standard format, you have some really good 5-3 agendas. So I think if anything, if we try Regenesis in a deck dive video, we're going to do it in standard and just play like Anoetic, Blend the Water, Anemone, and be able to throw things out on our turn. Only in startup GameNet, big deal? Oh yeah, I saw a deck post. I think, was it Cody who posted the list saying that they had a punitive GameNet deck and they never once played the big deal? You can still do vulnerability audit. You can, but should you? Right? Like it's a card that's not synergistic with any other part of the deck, unless you're playing a seamless launch deck or like, I guess, La Costa deck, which I wasn't considering. And it's also influence, right? Like you know what I mean? Like you can always play vulnerability audit, but like, would it be worse to play send a message? I know Veronica's been noodling with big deal. Not sure how it's been going. You can get the money for sure. You can get the money. Is Obokata auto include for every Jinteki deck in standard? I think I'm gonna say yes, but that's more to say that there isn't that many like competitive Jinteki decks for a while. I think if you're playing Personal Evolution, you would definitely consider it. It's a very hard agenda to steal, 5 net damage, and then they're still weak to all the other traps you put on the table. In the sort of like pseudo Glacier decks, it's also really hard for them to steal. And I think you saw data loop decks, like Jinteki data loop decks, do okay at APAC. If I'm not mistaken, I think we're looking at another list. There was a Jinteki deck with data loop into an Agate Fusion list, right? If I'm not mistaken, that was at APAC. So yeah, they're doing good. Outfit big deal could be cool. It's like that deck has so many other ways to fast advance with Audacity that I don't know if you want to spend 5 influence on big deal. Like I know you think outfit big money, so that kind of makes sense, but I feel like you already have ways to do that. And then on top of it, the deck is generally playing Audacity and having to Audacity away a big deal. I feel like to me that would upset me, like psychic damage or whatever. But yeah. All these games when nobody wants to smoke. It's a lot of people also like grinding, right? To be like, oh, I want to play against me. But no, it's fine. I'll just chill here. Yeah. It's like the weird stuff. Like in startup, I've been getting really frustrated with Vacheron. I think if you're not playing Emperor Stargate, there's no way to interact with it. And how fast HB is, it's just like they're playing with 6 points, 9 points out of their deck. There's just been so many games where you still lose and you have 6 points in your agenda area, right? And it's just like, what do you want me to do about this? And it is banned in standard, where it even exacerbates that issue. You can make a faster deck, but oh, it's Mage Knight. Okay, let's go. Smoke. Okay, speaking of smoke. Hey. Best of luck, have fun. So smoke actually, once she's set up, is not too bad at assets because she can convert the smoke credit into net recur credits, which is into destruction credits of trashing assets. But I would be shocked if this smoke can really quickly deal with the board while also setting up. Sometimes they play cold read, I think. Not often. You saw them more in Cabin SOU decks. They're on 42 cards. I always forget smoke is a 40 minimum. We're going to mulligan this hand. It's a bit not good. That seems a bit better. We're like playing economic warfare for spite. Like we don't have hard hitting news. It's just straight up for spite. I played an outfit big deal deck. It was pretty fun, but yeah, Audacity and big deal are anti-synergistic. The only worst card in your hand is another Audacity. All right, Bladderword on the table. We could consider icing it up, but it's not going to trigger. And we can just get a Formicary in front of a Central, I guess. Whatever. Doesn't really matter where we put it. Do we ice these up? I feel like we used the ice wall for like the one that hurts them, an urban renewal. Incoming Rozeki. That's fine. That's okay. Dirty Laundry. I'm surprised. Actually, no. Res Formicary? No, I feel like if they trash this, we're okay. We have so much recursion. Mind you, smoke is really weak. We saw this at APAC, really weak to Drago. Because if you can trash an Emrakure, that's kind of really important for them. Interesting, yeah, I know. Credit commission, they're on 12 credits. We could res this, they know what it is, so it's credit positive. Or credit neutral, I mean, might as well. Not very good. We could do install advance events. It's very likely they have a program. We could do echo, echo. I'd probably do that with mainly 3-pointers and punitive. What exactly is E-Bag? Because I don't think punitive is really good in standard right now because everyone's on stone ship. Doesn't resing the Formicary turn on the Bladderword? Yeah, but you can't res ice. Oh, I see what you mean. If we want to res it, yeah, but then they might trash it. I just don't know if the net damage is that impactful, where this is actually probably more impactful later on. Like, I don't know, do we want to res a Formicary here so we can end the run to do a net damage? And leave HQ open? I don't know. I honestly don't know. DZ? We can zoom in a bit. After image. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Of course, that allows them to get through the Formicary if they have... Well, at any point, our ice is really bad. Res the Nassix. That means if we do Bladder Force first, we do the order, they will take a net damage. So we got a Diesel. That seems okay. Now, if we get a Drago behind an ice wall, install advance, we could do Trust Operation. It's only from Archives. Man, I'm so surprised this card doesn't say HQ, like license acquisition. It'd be a fair bit better. But here we don't have much to do. They didn't run, right? No. The Formicaries, they break for free one Formicary turn with the Smoke's credit. Yikes. I don't get this deck. This deck did well, right? 5th at APAC. What am I missing? Am I playing this poorly? Have I got bad draws? I need to watch the VOD. I don't know if I saw this from what I saw. I saw all of day 2 and a bit of day 1 because it went too late. This is rough. I don't know. Cool thing about Trust Operation is you don't have to trash a resource if they don't have one. As long as you're doing some part of this card text, that's fine because it changes game state. This deck just ain't it. Oh, I don't know. It performed. Pad tap. Okay, now our cards are working for them a bit. I don't know whether the sort of deck where we will trash these. And a preemptive action. Not very tempo positive. Let's get something on the table. Oh, this is not good. White space doesn't end the run. I don't like any part of this. It's just like a nightmare. Like every card we're drawing is somehow a card we can convince ourselves is the worst card for this board state. Like something that they break for 1, we cost for 2. Do they have to use a stealth credit? Not even. They don't even have to use a stealth credit. Definitely trash the pad tap. I think you're right. Especially with this hand. Oh, I don't like this one bit. You want to be low on credits for bladder? If we do a net damage with bladder, it is in no way going to impact the game meaningfully. So I promise we want to be on low credits, but then also we're on low credits, right? Like if we have 3 of them, fine. All right, now here they can boost their smoke credit onto their after image to get a credit or draw a card. Res Formicary. No. Do we ever res Formicary? No. Especially not on archives. Formicary still works with Managarm the way we think it does, or did they change that? The order here doesn't matter, unfortunately. Okay. Okay, now we have a fork. If we can take down a Nemerkur, we'll feel okay. We can't. If we kept the trust operation, we could get a free Formicary, which is like better than nothing. I'm surprised we have 3 trust operation. Mind you, this white space doesn't end the run. Boomerang is going to change things. Let's go see what remote they go for. I think we do res the white space. Again, our low credits are okay for us. There's 2 subroutines on here. They don't have to break one of them. They can break both of them. The boomerang's already installed. Why not? And that is going to be an urban renewal. Res Formicary? No, thank you. It's probably better on HQ just so they're scared of it. Worried that they're going to hit a mouse list or something annoying. It's weird this list doesn't have a mouse list, but I think most of the ice they have actually say end the run on them. Boomerang gets shuffled back. Urban renewal coming down. Dirty Laundry getting some credits back. Nemerkur getting the credit. Top of R&D. Looks like we're taking down a Nemerkur this turn. Let's top deck. What's it called? I think we probably should have kept one of these in hand. Stop it, Rose Mercury. Stop it. Trust operation. All right, they have a 5/3 off the top. Not too bad. No trust operation, but res. Advance, advance. This is so expensive. Give tag. Trash resource. Very expensive. Luckily, bladder where it works out. Oh no. Yeah, oh no is correct. They definitely want that. If our Formicary was just 1 more strength, things would be interesting because they actually need stealth credits for this. So now bladder word is online as long as we trigger this before the Nasex. We also can remember that we can trigger Nasex to get a 1-coster. That actually might be important for the grand scheme of how this game works. But mind you, they can always go through the white space as long as they have more than, what is it? 10 credits they need? 10 credits? Draw. Still probably want to clear the tag. Simulchip. They can flip the tag here. Do we have retribution? Oh, that's always the wrong list. Excuse me. Do we have retribution? No, it's just the trust operation. I regret not having a trust operation. Here they could technically go ahead and self-modifying code for a pair. What's it called? A paperclip. I think on 7 credits it might be close. Yeah, we're gonna end the run there. Drago lives another day. All right, CSR campaign. Trash the twinning. Ooh, don't mind me. Okay, let's think about it. Let's think about it. Economic warfare. Successful run, no. Do we Nasex into bladder or 7 now? Sorry, Lucas? Because we could trash this to go get a 1 cost. What are the 1 costs in the list? Can we sort by cost? Actions? By cost? No, come on. There's a by cost function. There isn't? Info? Oh, no. Okay, we'll never know. Thinking. So if we get a 1 cost, we can get like the grind deck. I think we value the money from the Nasex. We should, if we were going to do that, use the Nasex to get the money off of the... We missed the trigger. It's weird that it doesn't ask you to do this at any point. Okay, when you ever gain credits through a card ability, you may spend up to 2 credits. Yeah, we definitely boomerang the wrong server. Maybe not. Yeah, I wonder if we should have. Let's start here. I feel like we have a play with the Nasex. And we can also use the Nasex to fill up on the bladder word. Wait, can you use the... No, I feel like you can't duck the bladder word during the bladder word. Oh, hold on. Hold the phone. If we play trust operation, we can get a card back. Yeah, Nasex isn't automated. It would be very annoying if it was, but I think we'd appreciate it. Okay, we'll do trust operation. We have no resources to trash, but we can bring back an urban renewal. I don't want to make anyone mad for me learning. Sorry, Jeremy. And then we can ice up either the Drago or the white space. We'll try and ice up the white space. Now we're underneath the credit. Wait, you can play that? Yeah, yeah. As long as it changes the board state. The trash resource is not a cost, so we're good. If it says the additional cost, trash a resource, then you couldn't, but because it's just effects on a card, as long as some part of the card changes the board state, you can play it. Yeah, it's a weird thing that you can play this without trashing a resource. Yeah, it's awkward. You'd like it better for 3 turns. Yeah, for 3 turns. Again, this takes a while, and they know what it is. So now they're kind of forked between the Drago, clearing the tag, and doing anything else. We are going to get a Bladderwort trigger here. I feel like the prison is slowly building itself. I wonder what we can get from the Nasex, like a second urban renewal, I guess. Ah, stating site. How? How do you do this? How? I just don't understand. How do you make a bot that has that in their name? Like you could not make it more obvious. Like if it was like, hello, my name is anything else. Boomerang. Okay. Looks like this is coming down. Oh, nope. They missed. You can trigger Nasex in the middle bladder, gain a cred, trigger Nasex, then deal net damage. Really, Thomas? For sure. Okay, Drago's coming down. That's fine because Spin Doctor's up so we can get it back in the deck for Combo Town. I think if anything, we would trash the Nasex to go get an MC Austerity. That'd probably be our thing. No. Reported and blocked every time, but it still hasn't done anything. Okay, so I want to see how this works. Okay, so I don't know how this works. We'll find out. Okay, so this says, whenever you gain credits through a card ability other than from Nasex, you may spend up to 2 credits to place that many power counters. So I'm going to spend 2 credits from the bladder. Love chat will not be denied from sharing. It's really bad. Yeah. Okay, now we can do all the orders. So now Bladderwort definitely hits, hit a daily casts. Now we can trash this to gain money. Technically, we gained money. Now install 1 coster. Okay, I feel like we're now starting to play the deck a bit. Interesting. Server 1, it's rezzed. Got good money. Whoa, actually, this feels kind of cool. Ramping up, best deck ever. I'm on board. Literally on board the boat. And now double ice. So now there's 2 things they have to deal with. 3 things. A tag, this unassuming Bladderwort that won't trigger ever again, and an MC austerity policy, and the building exploding. The ball's in your court. Smoke. They still have to clear the tag before they commit to like the daily cast or another Netmarker or something like that. Some of these decks were on Deuces Wild back in the day. That'd be like a nice way to clear the tag. Graded commission. All right, 8 credits. Enjoy your clicks. If we draw into the boom, we can win. Wait, trust operation? Hold on. We could. What could we do? I think we trust operation for the Nasex. We definitely hit this once. Urban renewal might fire. I think we had a window last turn for economic warfare. I missed it. But we could trust operation either to like, wait, how many boom are in the list? Excuse me for the white screen flashing up in the middle of the stream. 2 boom. We need to obviously shuffle the Spin Doctor deck. Yeah, we have boom. We have 1 boom in the list, 1 in archives. I think we are going to do this. I don't know. It's fine. New remote. We hit this once, and we'll put this out on the table as well. Because this maybe we draw into the boom. And here we can, well, we can't actually duck down to Bladderwort credits. Maybe we res some of this not good ice. Hey, how about you install a resource? Then I'd feel better about this. One or the other. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they have to clear the tag. Like, that's the fact that we're getting a free card from Archives Rezzed is a powerful ability. Mind you, this is not like a free toll booth or free big ice. It's just like a free Nasex. That's good. It's not bad. So the lowest we can drop ourselves is we can go down to 5, 4, 3. Actually, we can trigger a Bladderwort if we try really hard. And I think we will. All right, now they're running it. Resin Ice Wall with 8 credits, there's a chance that they can get through all of this because they have to self-modifying code. But if they pull the self-modifying code, they'd have to trash the after image. If they trash the after image, our old friend Formicary. You're into Sengrin mode now? I don't know what that means, but I'm on board. It's cool to see Wayland being used. Back in the day, wasn't very popular. Jeremy, Wayland has been super competitive for the last while. But I agree with you. Classically, not the best faction. I wonder if they... Oh, that was one click left. Wait, this is going to fire? They have 7 cards in hand. They just discard down. We can get them down to 1 card in hand? Hold on. Things we're going to do. We're going to res the CSR campaign. I'm worried that we're going to do all of this and not have enough money for the actual combo because we need 8 credits for the combo, but instead we're going to do 5 damage to them and then still lose. Yeah, Wayland has really cool ideas. Okay, so thinking. If we do nothing, it's very unlikely we win. We'll go ahead and place 2 power counters. I think I'll take 5 here. Yeah, I think you will. Okay, so we'll do the Urban Renewal, why not? Nuke for 4. Install a 0 cost from your deck. Interestingly enough, we might have considered getting the Drago back in the list. I think we should have cracked the Spin Doctor first to get the Drago back on the table. I feel like that's a misplay. And then start giving them tag hell. Now, I think I goofed. Do you mind? No worries. Undo click. You gotta type it in. Yeah, they have to undo click because we haven't spent a click yet. Almost. Okay. Wait, close prompt. Did that work? Okay, sick. Huge thanks. All right, good. All right, come back in. Let me show you the ice wall. It's sick. We technically saw their hand. Let's not look at that chat because we don't know anything about the hand. We're going to trash the whole hand anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, cool. So, Spin Doctor. Crack that. Get back in Drago. And I think a Trust Operation seems fine. Oh, no, actually the Boom. Yeah, that's good. Cool. Cool. Thank you. Okay, so now we're the CSR campaign. Probably a bit too expensive. We'll put 2 credits on this using the awkward trigger. Then we'll do everything. So we'll do the Urban Renewal. 0 cost from the deck. We'll get Drago in server 4. We're barely going to be able to afford this guy. Bladderwort does last damage, hit a misdirection. Okay, tags matter. Nasex. CSR to draw a card. All right. Whoa, wait. We can fast advance this? We can fast advance this. Yo, this deck's unbeatable. Wait, do they have Clot? Wait, action? Hold on. You might be on Clot. I didn't consider they could be on Clot. Wait, this deck is beatable. What are we talking about? At least they trashed their killer. Galaxy Brain moment, yo, Tobo. We've been... I don't think they're on Clot. Guess not. Oh, no. Ooh. Yeah, mind you, their influence goes to other stuff that Stealth needs, right? Like Taka sometimes, the Twinning. Trash 1 installed card. GG. Wow, that was cool. That wasn't going well until it was. That was neat. I didn't respect the Nasex. That's neat. I started losing. Was ready to start twinning for sure. Yo, the ice in this is really low. JNet kept reminding me that I had a Formicary, which I didn't want to res into the cheetah. That was weird. Let's do another one. That was kind of fun. Yeah, we were really losing up into the point where we were winning. But like just the ice wall they struggled with, which again, I don't think it's going to happen to some of the other decks. Throwback, yeah. Yep. It technically says end the run. That was wild. Funny enough, if we didn't land the Formicary, I think we still had lethal because you can just go always from basically almost always. Mind you, if they had the, Stone Ship Chart Room, they were tagged, but that is a thing thanks to the game. Funny enough, we technically getting the Drago back in the deck, shuffled the deck, we might have drawn as of. Should trash the Bladder in turn 1. Yeah, I think so. Hey, ciao. Yeah, maybe. It technically didn't matter that turn, but it did do a fair bit of damage. Okay, it's 11:45. No, we can't do another one, unfortunately. Okay, yo, check this out. This weekend, twitch.tv/Project Nisei. See you there. They will be streaming. Again, if you want to see the Asia Pacific Continentals, it's here. I'm hoping it'll be on their YouTube channel sooner than later. They usually do migrate them, but give them a follow so you'll get a notification if you hit the bell when we go live. I will be streaming the Continentals on this channel, not here. So that'll be on Saturday starting at, I believe, 1 p.m. Eastern is either the start of the stream or the start of registration. I forget. But actually, not registration started like everyone show up. In terms of registration, if you are playing at the American Continentals, registration ends in like 3 hours. So please submit your deck lists. It ends really soon. Tonight at 11:59 PDT. If you're watching the VOD, I hope you submitted on time. So yeah, check that out. What situation is Pharmacare useful? It seemed a bit dead last 2 games. It's actually quite considered useful because it can do a couple things. It can protect things out of nowhere. It is a 2 cost that you can res, and then you can Svigator it away to get a 1 cost, which is really important for the deck. The 1 costs in the deck are quite good. It also is a resed card in some of the other lists, so it's easy to extract and it's easy to mutually assured destruction. I don't think the deck is on either of those, but it's just something that we can throw in the way, move around, get a res so that we can quickly interact with it. A lot of Ob cares about resed cards, and you can't always count on the runner letting you res your own cards. So it's cool. They're like, oh, I'm going to res a Bladderwort. And they'd be like, wait, the Bladderwort's suddenly resed? And maybe that's the difference the game makes. But, you know, mixed bag. Not the strongest card. Hey, Muppeteers, we had a great stream. Welcome. We showed off like the world prize support. It's sick. It was really good. We got joined by Orbital. It's fun. Thanks for the stream. Thank you. JK Longs. We'll be not back next week. We'll be back the week after. We'll have a video next week. It is some more Virus Anarch and Startup. And we'll see you there. Hopefully we'll get some like nice vegan and Toronto recommendations to go into Worlds. But again, do sign up for your rooms, because by the time we do our next stream, the rooms closing is going to happen. It's in like 2 weeks. So yeah, I can't really remind you in 2 weeks because it'll be probably too late. Hey, Ian, hope you enjoyed the VOD. Welcome. I think that's it. We'll be back on Saturday and Sunday, so join Continentals if you're playing. Best of luck. If you're just watching it, hopefully you have a good time too, and we'll be back after that in a week and a bit. Good luck to everyone in Euro and Africas as well. Ciao.